to a 2-0 start. And Chuck Noll's Steelers are 1 up and 1 down. And Paul, it has not been their offensive prowess sparking the victories.
Can you believe these two teams that between them have won 3 games? The Steelers have no offensive touchdowns, and the Raiders only have 2.
On the other hand, both teams have put together strong defensive efforts, in particular Pittsburgh with an NFL-high 11 sacks in 2 games. Set for the kickoff, Jeff Jager will kick away to Rod Woodson. Pittsburgh won the toss. They will receive. Woodson coming in averaging 18 yards per kickoff return. It is a short kick, and it is taken by one of the men, Barry Foster, and he is swarmed under. Vance Mueller leading the attack. So Pittsburgh to the offense, where they have had all kinds of difficulty. The offensive line came together second half of last year when the Steelers turned things around, but again, they're having their difficulties, as is Bubby Brister last week against Houston, only 9 of 23. So the Steelers, from their 15, Hodge and Worley are the running backs. A hole for Hodge. So Merrill Hodge, who coming into today had carried 19 times for only 20 yards, rips off 12. Greg Townsend, the right defensive end, making the stop. Back to the Pittsburgh offensive alignment. When they go to the extra receiver, you'll see Chris Callaway. This is called the spread in Pittsburgh terminology. Rookie from Michigan, Callaway, comes on as the third receiver. It is a first down for the Steelers from their 26. Lips in motion, and Brister on the roll, has nowhere to go and runs it out. He was chased by the outside linebacker Jerry Robinson.
This was just a busted play, because all of the offensive line went one way. Worley went the same way with them, and Brister just missed the handoff. Take a look at it. He is supposed to get the ball to Worley. He's the only man in the backfield, and he missed it. Worley just moves. Brister has to run out. He's chased by Robinson. Does the smart thing, get out of bounds.
And Robinson credited with a sack, his first of the season. It is a loss of 1.
Credited for a sack because there was a loss on the play.
A second down and 11. And again the inside handoff. Good second effort by Merrill Hodge. The free safety, the hitman, Eddie Anderson, up to make the tackle, a 5-yard advance. A look at the Raider front 7, starting at the left defensive end. Scott Davis replacing Howie Long, who dislocated a toe last week. Bob Golick has been playing very well, as have the linebackers Robinson, Ellison, and Benson. And when the Raiders go to what they call the bandit in the passing defensive situation, Terry McDaniel and rookie Torrin Dorn come in. That is the normal secondary. The rookie Gary Lewis from Alcorn State has been a pleasant surprise. It is a third down and 5. Pittsburgh from their 31. By snap, and Brister with time, lots of time, and is able to complete for the first down. Lewis Lips hit down by Ricky Ellison. 8-yard advance. And the Pittsburgh offense that has struggled over the first 2 games in the midst of a decent drive.
When you look, and you were saying it right off the bat, that Brister has time. Watch it now. He's going to point to Lips. See that? He tells Lips, now move to the outside and get you the ball. There's no way the linebacker can stay with you. Ellison can't stay with Lips. They complete it for a first down. But when you have that much time, you can complete it. Or you should be able to complete it.
Steelers first down from their 39. We are just underway, first quarter. And again, to the ground for Worley this time, as the Steelers mix it up. 5-yard pickup. Ellison on the stop. Tim Worley, like Merrill Hodge, has not been able to get going over the first 2 games. He came on strong at the end of last season after those fumble difficulties in the early part of the year.
I think people must understand one of the major problems with Pittsburgh's offense. You know, is the cadence is different. The play calling is totally different. The audibles, they've gone from colors to numbers. And it really is throwing this team in disarray as far as the offense is concerned. They're just hoping by the third game here they can get it together.
It is a 2nd and 5 on a sweep. Hodge to midfield for a Pittsburgh first down. He went for 8. The free safety, Eddie Anderson, on the stop. The new offensive coordinator, Joe Walton.
You know, Mark, watch Long, number 74. Now, when he pulls out, Hodge is going to wait on it. Here comes Long. Now, he sits there and waits on him. He sees the opening. He's waiting for Long to make a move. He's trying to set up a block for him. But Long, instead of taking the man on, there might have been more yardage. He kind of hesitated himself. The guard has got to go right at the defensive man.
Well, the new offensive coordinator, Joe Walton, changed all the terminology. As you mentioned, changed the cadence. And this club has not been able to get going. That's Worley. And a penalty flag is thrown. The first of the day. The referee is Howard Rowe.
Ricky Ellison and Gary Lewis on the stop for the Raiders.
Now, this was a screen just to the outside to Worley, and 2 of the offensive linemen got out there. It was set up perfectly.
And there's Joe Walton. After the final preseason game, Bubby Brister so frustrated with the way the offense was going that he met with Walton, begging him to condense the complicated new offense. The saying inadvertent flag, so no penalty. It's a 2nd and 2.
The reason there was no penalty, they thought they had offensive linemen downfield, but they're allowed to be down there on a screen pass.
Off the play action. It is completed to Derek Hill. And another Pittsburgh first down. Terry McDaniel on the stop. It's a 7-yard pickup.
Brister, when he throws this ball to Hill, now you see him clapping his hands there, but here's Brister now when he sets up. If he leads Hill, they may have a score. He doesn't like what he sees because he is the one, he blames himself. He's upset because what he's saying to Hill, once you're on the ground to catch the ball, get back up and run with it. It's easy for you to say when knowing the 2 guys are going to nail you.
Now Bobby Brister looking at a first down at the Raider 32-yard line. Long drive for Pittsburgh. Hit for Richard Bell. He picked up 12. Jerry Robinson on the stop. So this has been a very impressive drive for the Steelers.
Good blocking on the right-hand side of the offensive line. They just seal everybody up. But when Belmont tries to make his turn, he cuts back and he's on grass. Now remember, the Pittsburgh Steelers play on an artificial surface, and it is much different. It gives way, this grass.
Richard Bell is a native of Los Angeles, a rookie from Nebraska, a 12th round draft pick. Only his 2nd carry in the NFL. Penalty markers down, and the play is whistled dead.
Number 65, Jackson, the left offensive tackle, moved before the play started.
Now here's Howard Rowe.
False start, number 65, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
This is what we were talking about, Mark. Remember now, the cadence is altogether different. Tom Jokin, a guy was really funny. He said, for 11 years, Marv, I never had to look at my playbook because I knew what the offense was. For the first time in 11 years, I now have to look in there and find out what's going on. But again, not only is the cadence different, the audible is now a number instead of a color. And these guys are a little bit confused.
As you saw, 10th play of the drive, 1st and 15. And again, Brister with the time and completes inside the 15-yard line. He picked up 13 on the play. The tight end, Terry O'Shea, the backup tight end, on the reception.
You don't think Brister can throw. Watch where he puts this ball. Now, there are defenders all over the place. And he just hangs that ball up high for O'Shea. Man catches the ball. They've got another, 2nd and 8 now, or 2nd and 2 now. Picked up 8 yards.
And Bubby Brister, 4 for 4, 37 yards. 2nd and 2, down at the 12.
Well, he said yesterday, we hope our offense is starting to come together.
The late handoff, the hole was there, and then Hodge was stopped. Golick and Ellison combined on the tackle.
It almost looked like the ball was snapped by Damani Dawson too late because the left guard Rainstra, number 79, got past where the hole was and really didn't block anybody. Take a look at it. You see the left guard pulls out. Now, he just really hasn't anybody to hit. Instead of hitting in the hole where he should have hit with Allison, number 50, he goes beyond the hole.
Pittsburgh has had the ball right from the opening kickoff, so they've had it for 8 minutes. It's a 3rd down and 4. Brister throwing high and wide. A penalty flag is down. He had Hodge at the far side. Rick Townsend on the coverage.
I think we may have holding against the Raiders.
Defense, number 70, holding, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Scott Davis is the guy that was called, number 70, right on the top of your screen, to the right. Now here he comes here, and he grabs Hodge right here. Now the question is, does he hold him? Look at his left or his right arm. Yeah, that's holding. Now that's holding. Or a new dance step, I'm not sure which, but I think it's holding.
So the Steelers from the 9 with a 1st and goal. And Brister adjusting at the line. Hodge picks up about 3. Merrill Hodge stopped by Scott Davis. Last week against Houston, Hodge 7 carries, only 9 yards, but off to a good start here in the first quarter.
When we look at this, if he really goes off of Rainstra's block and goes to the inside, here's Rainstra. He's going to come in here, but Hodge ends up going out further than he should. Now watch this. If he cuts inside, he might have the touchdown. Here comes Rainstra. Right there's the block. If he cuts back inside of Rainstra, he doesn't go out into traffic.
2nd and goal from outside the 6. Richard Bell is now split to the left. Lewis Litch to the right. And Brister goes left. Incomplete. Intended for the tight end, Mike Malarkey. Covered by outside linebacker Tom Benson.
You know, down here on the goal line, and it really is difficult. You've got a tight end that's going out flat, and actually if he catches the ball, Benson's there, he really doesn't pick up anything, maybe a yard. That's not the play. Down here in the end zone, then you have 2 receivers that are going down trying to beat someone, and the thing you've got to do is run a crossing pattern down there where you confuse the defense a little bit.
Look at that drive. The Raiders yet to touch the football. Right from the opening kickoff, it has been Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, really, they're not afraid to run down here either.
3rd and goal from the 6. Malarkey in motion. The ball was fumbled by Hodge. And he was able to recover. Covered up by Davis and Townsend.
This is the 2nd time that Bubby Brister has missed a handoff. Now, this is a delayed draw to Hodge. When I said they'll run down here in 3rd and long. Watch Brister. He goes back. Now, he's supposed to hand the ball underneath to Hodge. Hodge runs into him. They bobble the ball, but Hodge at least gets back on the football and get 3 points out of it.
And again, very frustrating, though, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They will have to try and settle for a 31-yard field goal. Gary Anderson has come on. The holder, Dan Straczynski, and the kick is good. But they had the football for a very long time and had to settle for 3 points after a most impressive drive.
To introduce Isuzu's new Rodeo, we've placed it and Toyota's 4Runner in this campground to see which is better for family fun.
Sure, the Rodeo has more horsepower and rear anti-locking brakes, but another key difference is that only the Rodeo seats 6.
So, combined with its price, thousands less than 4Runner, we see that only in a Rodeo, no one gets stung.
The new Isuzu Rodeo, at just $12,499, there's no comparison.
You know, I love coming to the park with Air Major. Because there's nothing better than spending a little time with man's 2 best friends. His dog and his beer. Miller Lite, the less filling beer that really tastes great. What's this?
That's mine.
Yeah, doggy.
Miller Lite, where less filling really tastes great.
And winds northwest 30 knots.
Back at the Coliseum in L.A., Marv Albert with Paul McGuire. And Paul, a man who has recovered from the emotional grief suffered by being rejected as a contestant on American Gladiators. But Paul has managed to hang in. Yeah, thank you. Earlier, we talked about the problems of the offense of both these clubs, but defensively, it has been a different story.
Historically, these are two of the best defenses in the National Football League. You take a look at 22 points given up by both of these teams in the first 2 games. But remember one thing. Since preseason, the Pittsburgh Steelers have not given up a rushing touchdown in 6 games.
And the kickoff from Anderson. A hard hit issued. Gary Jones on the return. He went for 18 yards. And so the Raiders to the offense for the first time.
From the Far East to Europe. Across the Caribbean and throughout North America, only one airline covers so much of the world with so much warmth.
We love to fly and we choose.
The Toyota versus the Isuzu standard pickup. If Earth were invaded by giant reptiles, which would be better prepared?
Get out of here!
Well, first of all, the Isuzu gets better mileage than Toyota. That's helpful. Plus, it has the biggest payload in its class, so it can carry more. All in all, when the giant lizards come, I'd rather be in an Isuzu.
Because it even has more legroom. The Isuzu pickup at just $7,779. There's no comparison.
Give the Army Signal Corps 30 minutes, and they can turn a mountaintop into a satellite communication station.
Roger, Bravo 26, loud and clear.
Be all that you can be. Getting it done right in the Army.
Buy 10 rolls of pig insulation, R13 or higher, to keep you warm indoors, and get a free NFL coach's sweater to keep you warm outdoors. Offer ends October 14th.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by America's favorite light beer, Miller Lite, the sole sponsor of the NFL Player of the Year Award. By Levi's 505, 506, and 540 jeans. And by Isuzu. For features, styling, and price, there's no comparison.
Welcome back to the Coliseum in Los Angeles. The Pittsburgh Steelers maintaining possession for a good portion of this first quarter and had to settle after that long drive for a 31-yard field goal by Gary Anderson. So the Raiders go offensively for the first time. Schrader had the time, couldn't find anybody, and now he does out of the 22, the tight end, Ethan Horton on the reception and hit by the left corner, David Johnson. So it is a short pickup. That Raider offensive line of Graves, Wisniewski, Mosbar, Montoya, and Wright. Hurry-up offense being utilized here by the Raiders. It is a 2nd down and 6. Nice hold from Marcus Allen. Getting out to the 34, picked up 10. Free safety Larry Griffin on the tackle. Marcus Allen, the Raiders' all-time leading rusher, able to rip off 10 yards on the play. It is Allen and the fullback Steve Smith in the backfield. Willie Gault, Mervyn Fernandez, and the converted running back Ethan Horton at tight end. First down out at the 35-yard line. Change of direction by Smith. And picked up a couple as he is gang tackled. Carnell Lake, the strong safety, leading the charge. And in the passing alignment, what they call the TNT, Tim Brown checks in with the fullback Steve Smith checking out. 2nd down, about 6. Pittsburgh 3, LA Raiders nothing. And the give to Allen.
Marv, the Raiders came out and they're in a hurry-up offense because they're right at the line of scrimmage. Well, I'll let you get the defense in, and we'll explain a little bit.
All right, the Steelers front seven of Willis, Williams, and Evans. Evans, the new name in there, former Ram, former Eagle. Excellent linebackers, Hinkle, Nickerson, Little, and Lloyd. In passing situations, Jenkins and Davidson come on along with Jones and Everett. And the normal secondary has Larry Griffin as the starter free safety. Everett making his way back from that concussion suffered on opening day. It's a 3rd down and 4 at the 40. Raiders have the extra wideouts in there. And Schrader throws the middle. Right at the 1st down marker, Tim Brown took the pop from the inside linebacker, Hardy Nickerson. Let's see where they spot it. It is a 1st down.
Now, what the Raiders did, they came out in their first series of downs, and they lined up on the line of scrimmage with their starting offense. Now, here they go right to the line of scrimmage again. The reason they're doing it is they don't want the Pittsburgh Steelers to get extra defensive action. They feel with Fernandez and Galt, they've got enough speed on the outside. They want to get some one-on-one matchups, and this keeps the Steelers in their basic defense.
Schrader has a 1st down at the 45. Second back coming through is Allen. He went for 5. The nose tackle, Gerald Williams, on the stop, and the Raiders moving well on their first offensive drive of the day. Giants over Miami. Kansas City knocks off Green Bay. Chicago with a victory over Minnesota. These are the early games as we check on the 10-minute ticker. Cincinnati walloping New England. These are all finals. San Diego able to beat Cleveland. We'll get back to the scores in a moment. Another 1st down for the Raiders. Allen for 7 more. Stopped by the free safety, Griffin. These are final scores. Houston beating Indianapolis. New Orleans defeating Phoenix. Phoenix coming off that surprise win over the Eagles. The later games, Atlanta on top, Seattle and Denver tied at 7, and the Rams in front of Philadelphia. 1st down at the 43-yard line in Pittsburgh territory. Schrader with the short side, and it's deflected. The pass intended for Fernandez.
Brian Hinkle gets out as a linebacker, and that's what you really have to do is get outside and take that real short lane away. That helps the corner. It's almost a double coverage. It's short inside, but Hinkle gets there. One thing talking to the defensive coordinator, David Brazil, yesterday, he said, we have to play against the Raiders gap defense. We have to take all the gaps away, and Marcus Allen, he seems to be finding those gaps.
And again, the Raiders get to the line in a hurry. Allen trying to get outside, gets inside the 40-yard line. Again, it's Griffin making the stop. Woodson also involved, and penalty flags are tossed.
And it's going to be thrown against Rod Woodson, number 26. He's not happy. Personal foul. That's 15 yards. You just don't make these kinds of mistakes when you're a struggling football team.
Personal foul. Number 24, defense. 15-yard penalty. After the play, 1st down.
Actually, the wrong number is 26, not 24.
Now, here's Allen on the ground. Watch this. He hits Rod Woodson, and then Rod Woodson, he actually doesn't hit him. He fakes like he's going to kick him. But there's a classic example of Marv, the second guy, getting caught.
The fake kick for Woodson. It is a 1st down at the 24. Off the pitch, Allen, and he is bumped out of bounds by Griffin. Larry Griffin, very involved on this opening series.
Well, when you look into the offensive line with Uski, and you've got Mosbar and Montoya inside, then you got the left tackle Graves. Now watch what happens. This is a toss to the outside. What they try to do, the offensive line, is the seal. But coming from the outside is Griffin, number 22, and just makes a tremendous play by the safety.
And the Raiders continue with the hurry up. 2nd down and 9 at the Pittsburgh 23. Allen is driven back by the nose tackle, Gerald Williams. So Allen has carried it 7 times for 32 yards. Hall of Famer Art Shell made it to the Pro Bowl 8 times during his 15 standout seasons as a tackle with the Raiders. Under Shell, the Raiders 7-0 here at home at the Coliseum. It's a 3rd down and 6. Time running down the quickie. First quarter, final seconds of the quarter. Penalty flags thrown. Pass is completed, but the play whistle dead. It will not count. Ethan Horton will come right back.
Well, you have movement in the offensive line. And it was the right side of the offensive line that moved.
False start, number 66, offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd.
Here's Wright. Now, Wright's playing as a tight end. He reported, but watch what he does here. He just steps back, and that movement there, even though the tight end can move, he can move his position, but he has to be set before the ball is snapped.
And that is the end of the first quarter. This one whooping right by. Pittsburgh 3, and the Los Angeles Raiders nothing.
We're here on Easter Island to introduce the monumental new Isuzu Stylus. How does it compare to the Toyota Camry? Let's see what the gods think.
The Stylus, with its Lotus Tune suspension, handles better and is just as roomy. Yet the Toyota cost hundreds more. The gods aren't too crazy about that.
The new Isuzu Stylus. At just $11,299, there's no comparison.
In these uncertain times, the intelligent investor focuses on current trends, watches the economic indicators, analyzes the various business sectors, developing keen insights before making a single move on Wall Street. On the other hand, the extremely intelligent investor has someone else help him do it. Prudential-based securities, rock solid, market wise.
Walk into a television showroom, and someone will probably try to sell you a set with a foreign name on it. Before you see their choice, ask to see yours. Ask to see the first TVs that combine digital video and audio, with a performance to back it up. Ask for picture-in-picture with triple flashback. Ask for a single remote that can learn to run everything. Ask to see a Zenith. For true innovation in television, quality never looked more like a Zenith.
Reminder tonight on NBC, 2 world premiere movies. First 7 of your favorite TV comedy stars go off to camp together, Paul, in Camp Cucamonga. And then Veronica Hamill, Judd Hirsch, Lee Grant will star in She Said No. That is tonight right here on NBC. In the first quarter, Pittsburgh had the ball for only 1 possession. They settled for the 31-yard field goal. This is the only LA possession as you check out those first quarter statistics.
Not much there, is there?
And a quickie first quarter. Well, the Raiders in Seattle last week played a game in under 2 hours and 40 minutes. Schrader on the keeper, stopped by the nose tackle Gerald Williams.
And this is a called play. Schrader they run Marcus Allen out, and he takes that 1 step back, and he's just trying to go over Mosbar, who is the center. But the defense, Williams, number 98, makes the play.
It sets the field goal attempt. It's a 4th down and 8, a 40-yard attempt for Jeff Jager, 3-year man from University of Washington. Hit on a 49-yard field goal last week against Seattle. His only field goal attempt of the season. Angle to the left. And Jager's kick is good. Raiders and Steelers are tied at 3. We'll be back in a moment.
You know, I love coming to the park with their major. Because there's nothing better than spending a little time with man's 2 best friends. His dog and his beer. Miller Lite, the less filling beer that really tastes great. Hey, where's Major?
Miller Lite, where less filling really tastes great.
Hey, where you been?
It started with close and comfortable. Now the new Norelco razor brings you even closer with the same legendary comfort. To reach this new level of shaving perfection, our patented lift and cut system has been improved to lift each hair and cut it even closer without the blades touching your skin. so you get an even closer shave with the same incredible comfort. The new Norelco. It's more than a great shave. It's a whole new level of closeness and comfort.
They flew more successful missions than any crew in history. America made them the glamour flyboys of World War II. But their last mission was their most dangerous, and only one lady could save them. A B-17 bomber they named Memphis Belle. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, October 12th at a theater near you.
Tuesday, Matlock's framed. The only fingerprints on the murder weapon are yours. And he's fighting for his life.
Trouble is a two-way street.
Taking on a ruthless underworld. Desperate men who deal guns, drugs, and death. Help! Ed must clear his name before it's carved in his headstone. A Matlock movie mystery on NBC Tuesday.
Hey, the Raiders picking up a 6'9" point guard for today's activity. Irvin Magic Johnson.
Run him across the middle. Let him go up for it.
Fine idea, Paul. We'll be seeing quite a bit of Magic during the year as the NBA hits NBC. Woodson back for the kickoff from Jaeger.
They'll take the ball at the 35-yard line, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good field position.
Spot the ball 30 yards from where it was kicked. First down.
On the subject of the NBA next month, basketball is the focus when NBC will travel to the site of the 1992 Summer Olympic Games. That's Barcelona, Spain, for the McDonald's Open. The New York Knicks representing the United States in an international tournament that will feature the up-and-coming European pros, including Yugoslavia, perhaps the hottest nation at the international level today. That'll be October 13th on NBC from Barcelona, Spain. So the Steelers, with only their second possession of the day, start out from the 35. The game tied at 3. And as Tim Worley with a very short pickup, Bill Pickell, a man who has been sent back by chronic back problems, making it back and making the tackle.
It's very tough for a guy like Bob Golick to make a tackle when you're double teamed and they put Damani Johnson on him, number 63, and Terry Long, 74. Watch this. Here's Golick, 79 in there. And it's very tough. He's holding his ground. He's holding his ground. You saw him yesterday. He looked good, didn't he?
Yeah. At practice, actually following the rate of practice, we carefully observed Bob Golick in the process of taking an ice bath as you watch Hodge not able to turn the corner. Lionel Washington stringing him out. Golick taking an ice bath, a regular occurrence for Bob. He says it gets his legs back each week. Now, the temperature in that bath was 42 degrees?
42 degrees. I'm gonna tell you, it was a great shade of purple. You have kind of a purple tie.
Yeah.
But his legs were a little bit more purple than your tie. And he comes out and he said it gets your legs back, but he can't walk for like 20 minutes. I don't understand it.
This is a very strange guy. In fact, Art Shell says that Golick would have fitted perfectly with the Raiders of old. He is such a character. Third down, 6. Brister completes. It's a first down. He combines with the tight end Mike Malarkey, a 7-yard pickup. Washington on the stop of Malarkey.
But you take a look at where Brister puts this football. It's unbelievable. Here comes Malarkey down. Now, you only see one man covering it right there, Washington. But watch who ends up on him. Here they are. He ends up in a crowd of about 4 people, and Brister hits him right in the hands. And that's twice he's put the ball up in the air because the backs are much shorter.
Brister 6 for 7. On that first Pittsburgh drive, the offense actually accounted for 3 points, their first points of the 90 season. Harold Hodge broke 1 tackle, but then was hit down by a combination of Townsend and Benson. Of the 23 points that Pittsburgh scored over its first 2 games, the offensive unit was not on the field for a single point. The only time Pittsburgh's offense was on the field during a score was last week when Houston sacked Brister in his own end zone for a 2-point safety.
Well, that's a great stat. I bet they really love that for an offensive stat. The only time they're on the field and scored it was at -2 points.
Second down and 9. Pittsburgh from its 48. Hodge got a yard. That's it. Ricky Ellison, the middle linebacker. Plan B free agent out of the San Francisco 49er organization on the stop.
And they say about the Raiders, much more speed in the defense because of that man, Ricky Ellison. I mean, he is all over the field. A couple of plays where you saw a guy flying through the air in the Pittsburgh backfield, that's Ricky Ellison.
At one point, he considered retiring to pursue a career in politics. He was a candidate for the State Assembly in Northern California, but changed his mind to sign with the Raiders. Third down, 8. Play action, and Brister completes and has another first down with Malarkey. Terry McDaniel on the stop, 13-yard pickup. McDaniel replacing the rookie corner Gary Lewis, who was injured in the first quarter, and we're still awaiting a report on the status of Lewis.
You know, I'll tell you one thing about Brister is that he loves to throw to his tight end. They're big targets. Malarkey is being covered, but that was a zone defense. Terry McDaniels, that is not his man. But he did take a hit and got hurt, and he's limping off the field. Now they go to O'Shea.
And the report on Gary Lewis, not a good one. Broken right clavicle. So Terry McDaniel, second-year man from Tennessee, is in at left corner. Brister on first down. He is going deep, and it is picked off. Eddie Anderson on the interception. Last week in Cincinnati, Anderson with a 12-tackle performance. 5-year man from Fort Valley State has come up with the interception.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Alex Webster and Frank Gifford gave the Giants the most versatile backfield of the 50s. Webster was an excellent receiver and runner. Gifford, a true triple threat back who could catch, run, and throw. Both frequently handled the ball in the same play, or as individuals, Gifford and Webster could do it all. Together as teammates, they made the Giants the best they can be.
Approaching landing zone. Prepare to land.
Let's move! Got a connection to make.
Give the Army Signal Corps 30 minutes and they can turn a mountaintop into a satellite communication station. Qualify for training like this, and you'll learn to work with some of the most exciting high-tech electronics around.
Roger, Bravo 2-6, loud and clear.
We got him! Right.
All that you can
Did well. We're well connected, son.
Get an edge of life in the Army.
The temperature never drops below Xerex. If you don't know that about antifreeze now, this is where you're likely to learn it. Because when your antifreeze fails, it usually fails here, when your car has been sitting idle, when it's very dark and very deserted and very cold. Oh, thank heavens, you did remember Xerex antifreeze. The temperature never drops below Xerex.
At the bottom of the screen, you see McDaniel on Hill, but on the right-hand side of your screen, freeze it right here. This man here is Anderson. Now watch what he does. He's playing free safety. This is what a free safety does. The ball is a little bit underthrown, and there's Anderson playing at free safety position, picks up the interception.
We just received word on the Pittsburgh tight end Mike Malarkey, sprained right knee, and a question as to whether he will return. He had 2 receptions. The other tight end, O'Shea, had 1. Schrader gets it out for a first down, hitting Irvin Fernandez. 12-yard advance. Right now, though, let's go to Bob Costas and NFL Live.
All right, Marv, here's one for the NFL Follies reel, but not too humorous if you happen to live in Seattle. The ball pops out of David Craig's hands like a wet bar of soap. Carl Mecklenburg picks it up, tumbles in from 2 yards out. The defensive touchdown gives the Broncos the lead at home, 14-7. Marv?
All right, Bob, Raiders first down from their 36-yard line. 5.5 gone by in the second quarter. Marcus Allen working the left side. Hardy Nickerson on the stop. And Allen went for 7. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire from the Coliseum in Los Angeles, California. The Raiders with a new 20-year lease to stay here in L.A. The Coliseum will be renovated, a much-needed refurbishing of the 67-year-old structure. Schrader on the screen. No one in the area, and a penalty marker is down.
They got to call him for throwing the ball away. Schrader just couldn't find anybody, and the heat was on him, so he just dumped the ball down the middle. There was just no one there to throw the ball to. They're all offensive linemen, intentional grounding. Now what do they call it? Referee signaled the wrong way.
All right, let's listen to Howard Rowe.
Illegal touching, number 65, offense, loss of down, brings up 3rd down.
That's illegal touching. All right, that's Max Montoya, the former Cincinnati Bengal, but I thought that Schrader was throwing the ball away. You know, looking at the top side, where you have Fernandez, number 86, and he's out there being covered by David Johnson, 44. David Johnson is giving him about 12 to 13-yard cushion. On the first play of this drive, Schrader threw the ball out to Fernandez. There's Johnson. Fernandez, he's off of Fernandez about 12 yards. Take a look at that. That's open.
It is a 3rd and 3. And that is short of the first down. Good tackle by David Little, the inside linebacker, to prevent Marcus Allen from churning upfield. And so the first punt of the day upcoming. Jeff Gossett checking in.
Atlanta's up 3-2 over San Francisco in the bottom of the 2nd. I love those scores. You know, those are great scores.
Ron Woodson, who last week against Houston returned a punt 52 yards for a touchdown, awaits the punt from Jeff Gossett, who punted only twice last week against Seattle. Gossett from his 30. And a short punt. So the Steelers will resume offensively. A 36-yard punt by Gossett. 7:58 to go, 2nd quarter.
Last year, more truck owners switched to Chevrolet than to any other truck.
Listen to the heartbeat.
Nearly 200,000 in just 1 year. So if you're still not driving a Chevy, what are you waiting for? More people are winning with
The heartbeat of America. Today's truck is Chevrolet.
From the outback of Australia, you can see the lights of Paris. Or survey the castles of Frankfurt from atop the Great Wall. From Mount Fuji, you can see the Champs-Élysées. Through the eyes of a Buddha in Thailand, you can see the Rhine rolling through Germany. And from the Kansas heartland, you can see the heart of France. You can see it all on United, because the airline that spreads its wings across Asia and the U.S. now turns toward Europe, beginning with Frankfurt and Paris. Come see it all on the airline that spans more than half the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
Elway, Kelly, the Broncos and the Bills. Then the slaughter, the nightmare, ambush at Arrowhead, an NFL doubleheader next Sunday.
Paul, I really enjoy you on those football voiceovers. Very nicely done. Tonight on NBC, a double feature. Imagine if the comedy stars of your favorite TV shows went off to summer camp. It happens tonight in the movie Camp Cucamonga, followed by She Said No. Merrill Hodge hit one of the officials in the process as he picked up the first down. Incidentally, the tight end Mike Malarkey, who injured his knee in that last Pittsburgh series, apparently all right. He is back in there. Hodge went for 14. Anderson and Harden able to get him down. There's Malarkey. Plan B pickup last year after 6 years with the Minnesota Vikings.
And Hodge goes right up the middle. And the life, the trials and tribulations of an umpire. Isn't it beautiful? They hit him so hard, knocked his hat off.
That was Neil Durham, the umpire, who certainly got involved in that last play. And here's Hodge again, and the Steelers running well. In fact, that 14-yard run by Hodge a moment ago, the longest from scrimmage this season by the Steelers. And Merrill Hodge, who had struggled over the first 2 games, has carried 9 times for 47 yards in this first half. You know, normally, Paul, when I spend time with you, it really goes slowly. But today, this game is,
that part hurt.
I'm sure. This game is whipping by. We have gone, what, 45 minutes, and it's only 6.5 to go in the first half.
These two teams like to run the football and ball control.
Game tied at 3. 2nd and 5 from the 38. Hodge stumbled.
The guy to put the heat on was Townsend, number 23. When he comes across the line of scrimmage, and that's the guy that disrupts everything. Here goes Hodge. Now, he does stumble, but Townsend, number 93, watch the penetration right here. And when he makes that penetration, he makes Hodge make the move to the outside. Once he does that, then Benson makes the play, number 54. But, you know, when you look at both of these offensive teams, we talked about at the beginning how they struggle. In the top 46 receivers in the National Football League, neither one of these teams have one. In the top 20 rushers in the National Football League, neither one of these teams have one.
3rd down and 7 for Brister. Lips in motion. Brister throwing on the run. And let's see what the call is. It is complete to Derek Hill. So Hill able to maintain possession in bounds.
When you look at it from the end zone, Marv, watch Townsend, number 93. He's the guy that puts heat again from the outside. Now, Piquel is trying to get upfield, number 971, but he's being held. And here is Hill, both feet in, has control of the football, and that's most important. That's what the officials look at, and it is a completion for a first down.
Derek Hill last year hampered by a knee injury earlier in the season, then started the last 8 games and played well, and Bubby Brister is off to a good start. 8 for 10, 66 yards. An official timeout. Now they say the Steelers call it. We'll be right back.
Because at this time of year, you can't hide inside a sweater.
It's the right beer now.
Because you know what to do when good times are on the line.
It's the right beer now.
After working hard to take it off, you don't want to put it back on. Reach for the silver bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
It's right. It's the right beer now. Oh, yeah.
Here's another demonstration of Chevy versus Ford. This one has socially redeeming values. We're loading up these full-size pickups with recyclables. The Chevy has a standard payload advantage of over 400 pounds.
That's a pile of payload the Ford leaves behind.
No wonder so many truck owners recycle their trucks for Chevys. More people are winning with
The heartbeat of America.
today's truck is Chevrolet.
Oh, 5 more minutes. It's our anniversary. Let's call in sick.
Can't.
Oh, 10 years deserves something.
True.
Haven't I made you coffee for 10 years?
Haven't I had to drink it? Now, come on.
Why?
Show your friends this. Happy anniversary.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The Diamond Anniversary Band. This year, tell her you'd marry her all over again.
Okay, I'll show him. Tomorrow.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by today's truck, Chevrolet. Nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America. By United Airlines. serving over 200 cities in the U.S. and around the world. Come fly the friendly skies. And by Liberty Mutual. For your insurance and financial service needs, America believes in Liberty Mutual.
It is a gorgeous 75-degree day in Southern California, Pittsburgh, and the LA Raiders tied at 3. 31-yard field goal by Anderson, a 40-yard field goal by Jaeger. 5:03 to go in this quick-moving first half. Pittsburgh first down from their 45-yard line. Hill in motion. Play action by Brister. And a bullet pass just short of the first down. Completed to Malarkey. A 9-yard advance. Malarkey with his third reception, and Bubby Brister successfully going to the tight ends, Malarkey and O'Shea.
Well, the reason he goes to the tight end is because normally the tight end is covered one-on-one. Now, Warren Williams, is number 42, is in the backfield blocking. They get a pretty good blocking combination up front, but just take a look at it. You have crossing patterns, and actually, when Anderson comes up and makes the play, Malarkey is not his man. There should be a linebacker hitting him at the line of scrimmage, and they're not doing that.
2nd and 1, the rookie Callaway in the slot to the left. And it is Warren Williams gunning for the first down. Greg Townsend tripped him up. Warren Williams in his 3rd year out of Miami of Florida. 6th-round draft pick back in '88. Picked up the first down. For those of you who missed Bob Costas and NFL Live, some of the headlines from today's program, Commissioner Paul Tagliabue said that he won't take any action at all regarding Bronco Clarence Kay's DUI arrest. Will McDonough reported that Saints quarterback Bobby Hebert is not part of a 3-way deal involving the Raiders and the Cowboys. One of the names speculated as part of the deal, Steve Berline, who is inactive today. He was a holdout and reportedly has fallen out of favor here in Los Angeles. Lewis Lips on the completion inside the 40-yard line, a 6-yard pickup. Jerry Robinson on the stop. Speculation continues concerning the future of Steve Berline. There he is. He was effective last year in taking over for Schrader, but Berline missed all of training camp in a holdout. Set to be on the trade block, and the name most prominently mentioned has been Bobby Hebert of the Saints.
No, it really is a shame. Here's a young man that set out, and his agent kept the guy out of camp because it was a money thing. And then Schrader has done a pretty good job with his team. They're 2-0, and try to get in this lineup is almost impossible.
2nd down and 4, and the ball bobbled. Raiders say they have it. They do. Raiders recover. Bob Golick on the recovery. .244 to go. First half.
The time has come for a new kind of full-size luxury. The 1991 Chevrolet Caprice. The most spacious Caprice of all time. A quiet place where 6 adults can enjoy standards of luxury they won't find in many more expensive cars. And that, perhaps, is the greatest luxury of all. The time has come for the new Chevrolet Caprice. Prepare to be impressed.
Just a reminder, proper maintenance with AC Delco parts can significantly reduce premature wrinkles. AC Delco, it's like buying time.
Liberty Mutual presents The Accident That Never Happened. Because as America's largest insurer for workers' compensation, Liberty Mutual has done more to help prevent injuries on the job than any other insurance company. Caring for people is why America believes in liberty.
Great view, huh? America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
The thrill of their lifetime and yours
the NBA on NBC.
Paul, that is not from the ice bath treatment that Bob Golick usually goes through.
That's what happens when you go for a fumble, but I'll tell you right now, those are just little surface deals. He doesn't even feel that.
Raiders take over on the fumble recovery by Golick from the 41. Here's Allen off the option, throwing deep, and it backfires. Picked off by Ron Woodson. He lateral. Try to get it to Larry Griffin, but Griffin is brought down. So that option pass play did not work.
First of all, the play took a little bit too long to develop. And Ron Woodson, he knows that he has to cover on Willie Gault man-to-man. Now take a look. Allen, number one, he throws the ball a little bit too high. And Ron Woodson is just sitting there waiting on it. Willie Gault is covered on both sides and in front of him. Willie Gault goes and strips the ball. Was not trying to lateral the ball. It was stripped it. But when you take this much time to throw the ball, here's what also happens to quarterbacks. Watch this. Boing. That's Williams, Gerald Williams, number 98. That's a good hit. You're allowed to do that.
And as you're saying, looking at the replay, was not a lateral. Woodson was stripped. Ron Woodson, the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, coming off his performance against Houston with his first interception of the season. So Brister, on first down, able to complete out to the 40 for a first down. White Stone on a 14-yard pass play. The free safety, Eddie Anderson, made the stop. White Stone, a running back who has moved to wide receiver in his 4th year out of Middle Tennessee State.
Now, Brister here runs a bootleg to the outside, and he sees Stone coming across the middle, coming back into the flow of the offense, not the defense. The defense was running to its left. See, here's Brister. Everybody's coming to the right on the offensive side. And Brister goes to his left. He takes a shot, but that's okay. They'll take that to complete a pass.
Bobby Brister now 11 for 13, 96 yards. 2 minutes to go. First half. Game tied at 3.
If you want to go places in any career, ask yourself, can I perform under pressure? Can I be counted on to get the job done? You can learn how in the Army, so when you're ready to take off, you'll know you can go far.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
Of all the cars and trucks people could choose, more people chose Geo in its first year than Honda, Toyota, and Nissan combined in their first 2 years. Get to know Geo at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Getting to know.
There's a new attitude at Northwest Airlines, a new dedication to service. You can see it in our on-time performance, the best of the top 7 U.S. airlines. That's our commitment, to make sure you're on time for your commitments.
Rusty's back in town. The Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace stock car. You'd better hold on.
This is Bob Costas in New York. Seattle has tied it at Mile High Stadium on Derek Fenner's second touchdown run of the first half. This one covers 2 yards. They're even up at 14. The Hawks are 0-2. The Broncos are 1-1, and we go back to Marvin Paul.
All right, Bob, now last season may have been one of this man, Chuck Noll's finest coaching jobs. Despite last place rankings in total offense and passing and yards per pass, they came within 1 point in one late Denver rally for making it to the AFC Championship game. First down at the 40, 2 minutes to go. First half, and Brister completes again. Lewis Lips with his 3rd catch of the day. A pickup of 7. Pittsburgh to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. Game is tied on a 31-yard field goal by Anderson. A 40-yard field goal by Jager. That has been it. Brister with the time. And it is short of the first down. Richard Bell taking a shot from the outside linebacker, Jerry Robinson.
And Pittsburgh's going to get in that hurry up because they've already taken a timeout. They only have 2. It's 1:20 and counting.
3rd and about a yard. And that is a first down. Malarkey cutting across. Able to pick it up. So Malarkey with his 4th reception. Benson and Ellison on the stop. Pittsburgh continuing in the hurry up. Clock is running. 1 minute to go in the half.
And every pass that Malarkey has caught so far in this first half, he is not the primary target.
Brister now being chased, and it is called a sack. In the grass, under control, Mike Wise on the sack, and Bubby Brister shaken up.
Bubby doesn't want to believe that he doesn't believe in anything like it's in the grass, because he fights his way through it and throws the ball out, but he was sacked. All right, here goes Brister back. Wise number 90 is going to come in and get him. Now here it is right here. This is where they call in the grass. Look at Bubby. All right, get away from me and let me get the ball away. And then he gets up and gets hit right in the stomach with Wise's helmet.
Mike Wise goes 6'7", about 270, a loss of 12. And Brister hit again. And let's see if they call it a fumble. Apparently it was a fumble, and it was covered up by Pittsburgh. Tunch Ilkin on the recovery.
Scott Davis, you talk about making a mental error and a mistake, and they teach you. When you see that ball on the ground, dive on the fumble. Scott Davis tries to pick the ball up. Now, Bubby Brister's going to get hit from the backside. Bang, right here. Now, watch number 70. Watch what he does. Instead of falling on the ball, they're in field goal range. He tries to pick it up.
Timeout taken with only 14 seconds left in the first half.
Before building personal computers for networks, Compaq thinks about you, about the kind of people you work with, and the number, how information moves and how fast it goes. This is why Compaq was first to put the performance of an impersonal computer system into a personal computer system, and why so many companies run their PC networks with the high performance of Compaq, to give more power to more people, and more people, and more people. Compaq. It simply works better.
One new Duracell battery. One old Duracell battery after 9 loud weeks in a boombox. Close your eyes. No peeking. Okay, open them. Now, which is which? This is why we saved the new Duracell package. It holds the copper top tester, which tells you if a battery is good or needs to be replaced. The new one, the old one. It's that simple. The new copper top tester. It's free and only from Duracell.
I'm State Farm Agent Jeff Libby. One of the most gratifying parts of my job is helping young parents, people who are just beginning to understand what life insurance is all about. Young couples don't need a sales talk. They just need to talk to someone who understands them and their life insurance needs. Now, I know what that promise of security means, and I don't believe there's a better promise a parent can make.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All you young football players, this is what not to do. You see this guy, these two things out here? These are called hands. Well, watch it when they try to come together. Look at this. Is this cute? There goes the ball. And I guarantee you, they're going to talk about him. He's got him taped. He got, 2 fingers are taped together. He can't pick up the ball.
Paul, you have taken the telestrator to a state-of-art level.
Isn't that great? I should sign those.
14 seconds remaining in the first half. 3rd down and about 30 as Merrill Hodge runs the clock down. A timeout taken. 8 seconds now left in the half. Raiders stop the clock, and we'll take another commercial break. Back in a moment.
Brings up 4th and 27. Ball on the 35.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
All right, Dan Skrzynski checks in for the first time. The Steelers' first punt of the afternoon. A first-year man out of Indiana. Tim Brown is back. Back at his 25-yard line. Only 8 seconds to go. And here come the Raiders. Skrzynski gets it off. Gets the good hang time. And Brown lets it bounce. As time runs out in this fast-paced first half. It's a 46-yard punt for Skrzynski. A couple of field goals. That has been it. Two struggling offensive clubs, two of the better defensive teams, and they go 3-3 at the half. Now to NFL Live with Bob Costas.
Okay, Marv, thanks very much. Coming up during this halftime segment, we'll check all the scores and highlights. We'll hear from Will McDonough and O.J. Simpson, and we'll also have a full-length interview with NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue. That is full-length as halftime shows go, which is 3 or 4 minutes, after you watch these commercials for about 2 minutes.
We built this business
To give you vision, style,
built this business
to help entertain you.
We built this business to build your freedom.
ITT built these businesses into leaders. We built them by taking care of people.
We built this business. We built this business to build your dreams. Built this business.
After 23 years in the NFL, both as a player and now as head coach of the Raiders, and being selected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I've been called an overnight success. Hi, I'm Art Shell, head coach of the Raiders. The key factors in my career were always hard work and commitment. I prepared for the opportunities that were there for me in the NFL. That's what I try to communicate to young people like these at the All People's Christian Center. And with commitment, I know the tough world of drugs and violence that's on the streets of our cities. But I tell young people that they have choices and opportunities. And with hard work and preparation, they can become the real winners in life. When you give to the United Way, you fund the agencies that provide services to people who really need your help. I know I can help these young people get on the right path to create a few overnight success stories of their own. That's what I'm trying to get across to these young people in this United Way supported agency. The United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Okay, we resume now at halftime, and as promised, here's Commissioner Paul Tagliabue in the studio with us. We left off at the end of the pregame show talking about instant replay, and one point is that obviously there are big differences from game to game in the amount of available equipment. Does that concern you?
It doesn't concern me, I guess, for 2 reasons. Number one, the 2 teams are playing with the same amount of equipment in the game. And number 2, with our 2-minute limit this year for reviewing the video, no one's going to get 8 or 9 or 10 camera angles anyway. So we're basically going to be looking at roughly the same number of camera angles in each game.
Now, what about in a very big game, very big late-season game with that 2-minute rule in effect? And if after the 2 minutes have gone by, just for the purpose of enlightening the audience, the network covering the game comes up with what is now the definitive replay, and it clearly overrules the call that has just stood or should have, and you don't have the capability because of the 2-minute rule.
Well, the coaches said, you know, that we should strike a balance, and everyone felt we should strike a balance between having the game move along. As you know, the rule is that the replay has to be clear and indisputable. And if you can't make that judgment within 2 minutes, the consensus among the coaches and the teams was that we should go back to the field and play. Will?
Paul, let's jump to a couple of issues you're going to have to deal with, I think, here shortly. How about Eric Dickerson? When do you anticipate making a decision with what's going to happen to him?
I think probably sometime this week I'll get back to Eric and to the Colts with some indication of what I think they should do and whether there's anything I can do about it, frankly.
How about Clarence Kay? I think you've got some kind of an idea of what you might do with his situation.
Well, Clarence, you know, was arrested for speeding, and I think I've seen enough now to convince me that Clarence should be permitted to play for the Broncos, and I have informed the Broncos of that recently.
There's some feeling in the league. You got an important meeting coming up Tuesday where the owners are going to come in to vote on a practice squad. Some of the owners think that this might be the first step towards a new collective bargaining agreement with the players. How do you feel?
Well, I don't see it quite so globally. I think it's important for two reasons. Number one, it's responsive to what the coaches and the football people want. They wanted these practice players, and I think management has an obligation to be responsive when it could affect the product. Number two, I think it is significant that for the first time, representatives of the teams and the players have gotten together, they've listened to each other carefully, they've gotten off their positions and moved toward a middle ground and reached an agreement. That, I think, is significant.
Finishing up where we started, is it fair to say that replay coming into this season was again hanging by a thread? It seemed a couple of years ago it was sustained almost as a personal tip of the hat to Pete Rozelle. Then you had to step in and lobby again this time. Is it always on the brink?
Well, I think in this league there will always be some people who will oppose instant replay, but this year with the changes we made, maybe we'll have a stronger consensus at the end of the year. It's going to be interesting to see.
I wish we had more time, but we thank Commissioner Paul Tagliabue for stopping by. Will McDonough, O.J. Simpson, and I will be back as halftime continues in a moment.
So, folks, you want to know how to win big in McDonald's McMillions on NBC? Mm-hmm. You go for it. That's right. You got to go to McDonald's for a new McMillions ticket every day. Because every day for 28 days, we're giving away $1 million or more. Got to get one of these. Then, every night, you just pull up a seat, you get comfy, and watch NBC to see if you win. Now, if nobody wins one night, the cash rolls over until somebody wins. So come on, play McMillions on NBC.
53 degrees and cloudy, cool tonight in the 40s. More later on your 24-hour news source.
Life without choices is like a jukebox with one song. But more choices are always at your fingertips in the Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. It's got more choices, a lot more, than any other Yellow Pages. No wonder so many of us, 9 out of 10 of us, use it. When it comes to choices, the more the merrier. The genuine Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match a Bella Atlantic company.
Working on a pole line, going down, down. Working on a pole line. How about another round? 5 o'clock in the evening, I'm already home and gone. An Iron Man is always working. We work hard at having fun, and it's rough.
Okay, Bob Costas back in New York. We'll hear from O.J. Simpson and Will McDonough in just a moment. But quickly, let's take you through the final scores from earlier today. At Giants Stadium, Dan Marino was completely thwarted. Sammy Smith held to 5 carries for 9 yards. Meanwhile, Otis Anderson had 2 one-yard scoring runs for the Giants. They go to 3-0, hand the Dolphins their first defeat, 20-3. Green Bay's Don Majkowski made his first start, but he was ineffective, rusty, and Kansas City beats Green Bay at Green Bay 17-3 with the help of this 5-yard touchdown run in the first half by Christian Okoye, and the Chiefs are now 2-1, might have been 3-0. They barely lost on Monday night at Denver. Now here's Bears coach Mike Ditka. His team is 18-1 in September since '85. Minnesota tied them with less than 2 minutes to go. But as the clock ticks down to 4 seconds, Kevin Butler, one of the game's best, connects from 52 yards. The Vikings lose, and the Butler did it, 19-16. Boomer Esiason brings the Bengals to the line of scrimmage at Riverfront Stadium. They had to come from behind to win their first 2 games of the year. Today, they established themselves early, and they crush the Patriots 41-7. This 42-yarder to Eddie Brown was part of it. On to Cleveland we go. Bobby Beathard looking for his first win as the front office maven of the San Diego Chargers, his new team. And he watches the defense do the job. They rush Bernie Kosar. It's one of 2 interceptions today. Henry Rolling picks it off, nearly brings it back for a TD. The Chargers did score moments later, and they go on to the upset victory by a score of 24-14. Both these clubs are now 1-2. To RFK Stadium for an NFC East battle. Mark Rippon goes out of the game with a knee injury. He's replaced by Stan Humphries in the second half. Meanwhile, Troy Aikman of the Cowboys has his problems. He passes from the end zone. It's intercepted by Darrell Green, and watch the fancy stepping he does. Eventually, he brings it back 18 yards for a touchdown. The only TD of the day. Chip Lohmiller had 4 field goals for the Redskins. They win it 19-15, take their record to 2-1. At the Astrodome, Ron Meyer of the Colts, Jack Pardee of the Oilers. Both teams looking for their first victory. It's Warren Moon and the Oilers who get it. 3 touchdown passes for Moon, 2 of them to this man, Lorenzo White. Houston prevails 24-10. One other final from earlier today. New Orleans got 3 touchdown runs from Reuben Mays and a 14-yard TD pass from John Forcade to Eric Martin. They win at home over Phoenix 28-7. Good news for those Saint fans who had taken a vow of celibacy. You might have read about this. A vow of celibacy until the Saints scored their first TD of the season. In the second quarter of Game 3, John Forcade released the tension with a 14-yard touchdown pass to Eric Martin. Now, Pittsburgh playing at the Raiders, the game you're watching. Pair of field goals tied up at 3-3 at halftime. Atlanta's playing at Candlestick Park. San Francisco with a safety and a 47-yard field goal by Mike Kofer, leading the Falcons by a score of 5-3. Seattle and Denver are tied up at 14 apiece. It's late in the second quarter at Mile High Stadium, and Philadelphia just got a 15-yard scoring strike from Randall Cunningham to Mike Quick. Philadelphia with the lead over the Rams. 10-7, and the Rams, even as I was saying that, apparently just scored a touchdown. So the Rams have reclaimed the lead at Anaheim. Their record 1-1. Philadelphia 0-2 coming in. The Rams with the 14-10 lead. OJ?
Well, Bobby, speaking of this Raider game, it's no surprise that Raiders in Pittsburgh are at 3-3 because they came in second to only the Chicago Bears in points allowed, 22 in the first 2 games, and they appear to be content with just sitting, letting their defense control the game, offensively not making any mistakes, and hopefully both teams would like to see Louis Lips or Tim Brown make a big play for them.
Well, you know, Juice, I think the important thing in this game for Pittsburgh fans, when Rod Russ left last year to become the head coach of the New England Patriots, everybody thought that the Pittsburgh defense would drop off. I don't think they have given up an offensive touchdown yet this year, have they, Pittsburgh? If my recollection,
they might have given up one on Sunday night against Houston.
They've been tremendous, and there's been no fall-off. They just picked up where they left off last year.
Okay, we got to move on. We'll send you back to the field for the second half. We'll rejoin Marv Albert and Paul McGuire after these messages from your local station.
Of course, you've always wanted to be a millionaire. Well, your truck has come in McDonald's McMillions on NBC. We're giving away $1 million a day for 28 days in a row. And if nobody wins one day, the cash rolls over to the next. Kind of a nice feature. Now, you just go to McDonald's for a ticket every day. Watch NBC every night, and you could win. So drop in, tune in, and cash out. In McMillions on NBC.
Who can join Foodland's Pit Panther Cub Club? Marino, too old. Dorset, way too old. Swervin' Curvin, still too old. But if you're 16 or under, sign up. The first 5,000 get free tickets. Everyone gets a fun Cub Club kit, only at Foodland.
In case you missed it, one more time. Duncan Hines Cake Mix, 79 cents. Folgers Coffee, buy one, get one. Bounty Jumbo Towels, 69 cents each. And you can only play Foodland's Dream Machine Sweepstakes at Foodland. Should I repeat that?
Hassle while you work? Tomorrow at 4 on the People's Court.
Welcome back to the Coliseum, Los Angeles, California. Steelers, Raiders tied at 3 with Paul McGuire. I'm Marv Albert. Now, at the Raider practice on Friday, we were chatting with Raider quarterback Jay Schrader, and he said it would take 2-3 weeks before this Raider offense can show any consistency. These two clubs came in really having difficulty offensively, and that's been the case again in this first half.
And it really is surprising because even Al Davis said it. We have more offensive weapons now than we've ever had in the history of the Raiders. You know, but Jay Schrader is realistic about it. He said to have total consistency, you got to put it all together, not only the running game but also the passing game.
Did he say history of the club?
He said in the history, more scoring weapons than they ever had in the history combined.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers had their problems in the first half.
Oh, did they ever? I asked Webby yesterday. I said, now, how long do you think before total consistency? He said, I think maybe I'd like to see it tomorrow. We have not seen it in the first half. But, again, look at the Steelers and their possessions. When they had the ball for 15 plays and went down the field, they ended up with a field goal. Everything else, nothing.
Pittsburgh.
All right, look at here. Here you go again with the Raiders. Marv, when they had to play for ball for 13 plays, they ended up with a field goal. But here are two teams offensively. Pittsburgh had it 4 times in the first half, and the Raiders only 3 times. You cannot do much offense with that.
Raiders with only 19 plays in the first half. Pittsburgh had the ball in the first quarter for over 9 minutes and had to settle for that 31-yard field goal by Gary Anderson. The only other score, a 40-yard field goal kicked by Jeff Jaeger. And it's Ron Brown on the return. Steelers thought they had him. And Brown able to break tackles. He went for 23 yards. White Stone made the stop. So the L.A. Raiders start out at their 37-yard line. Well, statistically, Brister with a magnificent first half, 14 for 16, 107 yards, but only 3 points to show. And Schrader, 4 for 6. And that was it. Last week in the victory over Seattle, he threw only 17 times, 10 for 17. Jay Schrader has the quick set, the quick release, but has never been a touch passer, strictly the strong arm. Now he goes short. That's a nice touch pass. Rick Bell on the reception, hit down by Rod Woodson. It'll set up a 2nd down and 3.
Isn't it amazing, though, that you look at all of the offensive weapons we're talking about with the Raiders? You got Willie Gault, Fernandez, Grady, hadn't been in the game, Tim Brown, and you also have Marcus Allen and Smith. And then you look at the Steelers, they have Lips, Hill, Callaway, Stone, and they have, here's 14 out of 16 for Bubby Brister for 106 yards. That's less than 10 yards of pass reception. And there's Schrader 4 out of 6 for 22 yards. All they've been able to do is hit the short stuff.
And Schrader again, short range. This time sideline has a first down with Mervyn Fernandez. David Johnson bumped him out. 15-yard play. Fernandez, a man who was drafted on the 10th round back in '83, chose to play in the Canadian Football League and was a major star in the '80s in the CFL. Last year, a banner season with the Raiders, 57 catches, 9 touchdowns, had a 4-catch day last week. On the subject of Raider weapons, a fellow by the name of Bo Jackson will be joining this club probably October 21st for the game against the Chargers. Probably checking the week before. Fernandez, another first down on that hookup. Johnson on the stop. This one for 18 yards.
They can play, Schrader and Fernandez can play catch all afternoon if they wanted to, because of Johnson, number 44, how far he plays off of Fernandez. Now look at Johnson. He's 10 yards off. Now he's retreating here. Fernandez goes across into the inside. Now I understand Griffin is there, but the ball is hit between those two guys. There's just no way to cover it. You cannot give him that much leverage.
Willie Gault splits to the left side. Mervyn Fernandez to the right. First down at the 24. Greg Bell. Hit down by Gerald Williams. Greg Bell, last week in Seattle, the Raiders' leading rusher, also scored the winning touchdown with a minute and 20 to play. In his 7th year out of Notre Dame, acquired from the Rams last June after going for 1,100 yards, 4th best in the NFC.
Is Marcus Allen hurt? Because in the first half, he was running pretty well. I thought he was doing a pretty good job.
We will check on that. 2nd down and 4. Art Shell does like to shuffle his backs. Used all 5 last week against Seattle. Pass intended for Fernandez. Covered by David Johnson.
Donald Evans, number 66, gets a lot of heat, but the guy that really makes this play not work is David Little, who's number 50. Now, 66 is right there. There's Evans. But when they throw the ball downfield, the linebacker, who is Little, gets in the way, takes the short away, enables Johnson to cover deep, and they couldn't get the ball to Fernandez.
Raiders and Steelers tied at 3. 2.5 gone by in the 3rd quarter. It's a 3rd down and 4 at the 18. It is Bell battling for a first down. Flag has been thrown. Thomas Everett on the stop of Greg Bell. A holding call against the Raiders.
Holding offense, number 88, 10-yard penalty, Repeat, third down.
On the top of the screen, take a look at Ethan Horton, number 88. Now, he's out here on the outside linebacker who is here, and then just watch the holding, and you'll see what happens. That's holding.
Now responsible for the 28-yard line.
You're allowed to move the guy out, but you can't, you can get your hands out on him, but you can't hold on to him.
Ethan Horton, the starting tight end, what with the starter Mike Dials suffering a pulled hamstring. Horton, a converted running back. Here's Prater on the third down play. Could not be held by Willie Gault. Willie Gault was open.
Well, this ball is thrown behind Willie Gault. This is a tough catch for anybody to make. And Willie Gault is coming downfield on Rod Woodson right here. Now watch when he turns in. Look where the ball is thrown. Back to the outside. Should have caught the football, but the ball could have been thrown inside. I mean, Gault had Woodson beat.
And now Jeff Jager with a 45-yard field goal attempt. He hit from 40 earlier. And he has been on target from long range. He hit a 49-yarder last week, and today he connects from 40 and from 45.
Millions of years ago, nature created a vehicle that accelerates, steers, and stops with all fours. That ingenious concept has now been engineered into a car. Introducing the Mitsubishi 3000 GT. With all-wheel drive, all-wheel steering, all-wheel anti-lock brakes, and 300 horsepower instead of just one. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
It's more than just a game. 17! And if you play your cards right, 20! You could win it all. 25! 25? I won! With that lineup? Yeah! Yeah! Play Diet Coke Super Bowl lineup, and you could win up to $25,000. Game pieces and caps only on packages with Super Bowl lineup emblems.
Tough luck, Boomer.
Collect and win or win instantly. Hey, it's Super Bowl trip! With 100% NutraSweet.
When David and Lisa Edmondson needed life insurance, they came to see me. I'm Kent Spearman, their State Farm agent. I help the Edmondsons put together a life insurance plan that works for them and their budget. And I stay in touch as their needs grow and change because that plan has to work for their children, Rachel and Travis, too. If you want life insurance that works for you, get an agent who works for you. Get yourself a State Farm agent.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Diet Coke with 100% NutraSweet. You'll drink it just for the taste of it. By Magnavox, smart choices for smart people. Magnavox, smart, very smart. And by Mitsubishi, bringing you a full line of award-winning automobiles. See them all at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer.
Back at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, the kickoff by Jager carries out of bounds.
Also, the Raiders were offside on the kickoff team. So the ball will be at the 35.
Jager connecting on a 45-yard field goal to give the Raiders a 6-3 lead. So Jager from 40 and from 45. Anderson, a 31-yard field goal for the Steelers.
One of the things when we were talking to Pittsburgh about the offense and the changes. Now, the changes were the audibles were changing. The wording is changing. The cadence was changed. But you want to know why there's some confusion? The offensive line, really, they're running some of the same plays that they ran a year ago, Marv, and all these years in Walton's offense. But the terminology is all different. So you're running the same play with different terminology, and now these guys have to think. And there's one thing a coach always tells a player: I don't pay you to think, I pay you to play.
It is a first down at the 35. 83 Lips in motion. Brisker on the short set has Lips. Oh, nice moves by Lips to pick up the first down. Mike Harden, the strong safety, on the stop, a 12-yard advance. Let's check out the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Giants with a victory over Miami. Giants go 3-0. Kansas City beats Green Bay. Chicago over Minnesota at Soldier Field. Cincinnati big over New England. San Diego knocks off Cleveland. Washington over Dallas. Dallas's only victory last year over the Redskins. Houston beats Indianapolis. New Orleans knocking off Phoenix. Late games, that's a weird score to look at. San Francisco 5-3 over Atlanta. Elway threw a 3 for Denver. First down at the 47. This is Merrill Hodge trying to go outside, could not.
Merrill Hodge.
Run out by the right corner, Lionel Washington.
And also Tom Benson, number 54, the linebacker. That's just excellent pursuit to the outside. And that's a gain of about a yard. Hodge is trying to get to the outside. Not great speed, but good speed. And here comes Hodge. There's nothing inside the goal. Now watch it. You see Benson running him down here, and then here comes Washington in to make the kill. They pick up a yard on the play. Solid defense.
On the subject of offensive coordinator Joe Walton, he and Bubby Brister have not shared similar opinions concerning the offense over the first couple of weeks, but Bubby, you get the idea, has pulled back somewhat. Now the hole for Hodge. And he gets across the 45. Rick Townsend, Mike Harden combining 8-yard pickup.
One thing about Hodge is that he's not have great speed, but he's got excellent quickness. Watch him find the hole. Here comes Hodge. There's cross blocking. DeMonte Dawson gets a good block, number 63. Brainstorm gets a good block, and then he just sees the hole and picks up about 8 yards on a play. We have an injured Raider on the field.
Mike Harden, the strong safety, is down. 5 minutes gone by in the third. Raiders 6, Steelers 3.
An eclipse was always a rare phenomenon, seen only once or twice in a lifetime. But ever since Car and Driver named the Mitsubishi Eclipse GS Turbo to its annual 10 best list, and ever since Automobile Magazine put the all-wheel drive Eclipse GSX on its 1990 All-Star list, you see eclipses all the time. Mitsubishi. The word is getting around.
Nothing refreshes quite like the real cola taste of Diet Coke. With 100% NutraSweet.
Hey, where's Boomer? Guys!
You've been up in the air for hours. Now you gotta make up the time. Aren't you glad Verts has a faster, easier way to rent a car? #1 Club Gold. No paperwork, no stopping at counters, nothing to slow you down.
Verts, we're America's wheels.
You go straight to our Gold parking area, where your car is waiting, ready to go.
I'm gonna make it.
It's the fastest way to rent a car.
Elway, Kelly, the Broncos and the Bills. Then the slaughter, the nightmare, ambush at Arrowhead, an NFL doubleheader next Sunday.
Mike Harden shaken up a moment ago on the sideline, replaced by Dan Land. Raiders have already lost the cornerback, Gary Lewis. Merrill Hodge gunning for the first down. Steelers feel they pick it up. Ricky Ellison tried to stack him up.
Ricky Ellison with the initial hit.
No indication.
Well, where they're putting that ball, I got to think he's maybe about a half a yard short or a half a ball short.
They are calling for the yardsticks. Getting back to the Joe Walton, Bubby Brister situation. Last week, Brister said he was about to come unglued with an offense that ignored many of the Steelers' strengths. Deep throws to lips to the running of Worley and Hodge. And then Chuck Noll sharply criticized Brister for refusing to accept Walton's new schemes and suggested that he might look for a new quarterback to fit the system. Steelers short of the first down. Brister was talking to reporters about a half hour after last Sunday's game against Houston when Noel entered the room and said, "Are you working overtime?" And Brister said, "Coach, I didn't say anything bad today." And Noel said, "If you say anything bad, say it about me." And Brister answered, "Yeah, and I'll be in the Canadian League."
Well, this is another time where you got to figure out where they mark the ball. The Steelers lined up in punt formation and then moved in and handed the ball off to Barry Foster, number 29. The question is, where are they going to mark this ball? I mean, he was drilled right at the line of scrimmage.
It was Aaron Wallace, the rookie out of Texas A&M, who did the drilling, and again they call for the yardsticks.
They only had half of the ball to go, and they picked it up.
So the gamble paid off on a 4th and 1 at the 43.
Now look at it now. The punter moves up as if he's going to be a ball carrier, but he is not going to be a ball carrier. Barry Foster is the ball carrier, and you are absolutely right. Wallace, number 51, just absolutely drills him, but he picks up that half of the ball is all he needed.
Foster, a rookie from Arkansas, a 5th-round draft pick. Now the first down for Pittsburgh at the Raider 43. Hill in motion, and penalty flags are down.
Tom Ricketts, number 71, who is in there now at left tackle, I think is the guy that moved.
So Mike Wise apparently took a finger in the eye.
False start, number 71, offense before the snap.
And it was Ricketts.
Here he is right here. See, he moves. Boy, is that awfully close. That is awfully close. And then he sticks his finger in the eye of Wise, number 90. He comes off.
Steelers now have Ricketts and Ilkin at the tackles, Rienstra and Long at the guards, and Dawson is the center. 8.5 remaining. Third quarter. Raiders 6, Steelers 3, and it is almost picked off. Jerry Robinson had it diagnosed, could not hold on.
You know, they're looking at this now. Is this a ball thrown behind? If this ball is thrown behind and the Raiders pick up the ball, they can go with, because the whistle really hasn't blown yet. He's going to call the Raiders with a catch. Worley comes back and makes the tackle, but I don't think Robinson had possession of the ball. But if that ball is thrown behind, that's a lateral. Worley makes a great play to come back to get Robinson. Here's the play now. Look where Bubby Brister is. Now he throws the ball. Now this ball is thrown ahead. Here's Robinson there. Now there's no way that he has possession of the ball. I don't see how the official could say, okay, they have possession. Never caught it. The only thing that they could call here is that the ball was thrown behind, but yet they blew the whistle. Now I don't know. The ball was being kicked around. They cannot give this ball to the Raiders. Here's the throw.
Ball rule. Backward pass, recovered by the defense, cannot advance, but their ball first down at the spot.
They're reviewing. They are reviewing it.
Who recovered the ball?
They are saying the Raiders made the recovery on a lateral, and you can't advance a lateral because it is considered a muff.
Well, if you look at where Bobby Brister throws the ball.
Backward pass. Recovered by the defense, but by rule cannot be advanced. First down.
Here's Brister. He's throwing the ball at the line. Robinson is getting the ball over the line. Now there's the ball on the ground. But I never saw anybody go over until Golick. Here comes Golick, and if he touches the ball right there, he picks the ball up. He touches it, has possession. So there's the old veteran. All right, it's on the ground. I'm still going to go pick it up. You never know.
So the Raiders take over. It is ruled a lateral. Possession to the defense could not be advanced because you can't move. You cannot advance on the muff. And Schrader throws one high and far. Irvin Fernandez in the area. The coverage by Woodson and Johnson. Raiders 6, Steelers 3, 8:22 to go.
What a heads-up play by Bob Golick, though. You know, there are players that just stop, and they don't do things. And here's Golick. He's just wandering around, goes down and grabs the football. Cannot advance it. Can't advance a lateral. Yet he falls on the ball and gives the Raiders the ball.
Galt is to the left. And Fernandez right. Second down from the 37. That intended for Brown. Johnson covering Timmy Brown. He's made it back from knee surgery suffered opening day last year, coming off the sensational rookie campaign. As a rookie, led the NFL in kick returns, averaging 27 yards per return. It will be a third down and 10 at the 37.
Remember one thing about these Pittsburgh Steelers and their defense. They have not given up a rushing touchdown, including 4 preseason games this year.
Marcus Allen is back. He is the lone deep back. Schrader over the middle. Broken up, intended for Brown. Parnell Lake, the strong safety, covering.
Parnell Lake almost had an interception. He was just sitting there playing center field and then ended up just reading the quarterback's eyes of Jay Schrader and almost picked it off. Now here's again talking about offense. Here are the Raiders with excellent field position, getting the ball at the 37-yard line of Pittsburgh, Marv, and they cannot move it. They didn't move it a yard.
And here's Jeff Gossett punting from midfield, only his second punt of the day. Rod Woodson is back at his 10. Gossett looks to angle.
It's a great kick.
Let's see where they will mark it off. Gossett upset. It goes as a 32-yard punt. I don't know why he was upset, because they are spotting it at the 5.
Well, he wanted it spotted at the 1.
We'll be back after these messages.
It's more than just a game. 17! And if you play your cards right, 20! You could win it all. 25! 25? I won! With that lineup? Yeah! Play Diet Coke Super Bowl lineup, and you could win up to $25,000. Game pieces and caps only on packages with Super Bowl lineup emblems.
Tough luck, Boomer.
Collect and win or win instantly. Hey, a Super Bowl trip! With 100% NutraSweet.
Millions of years ago, nature created a vehicle that accelerates, steers, and stops with all 4s. That ingenious concept has now been engineered into a car. Introducing the Mitsubishi 3000 GT. With all-wheel drive, all-wheel steering, all-wheel anti-lock brakes, and 300 horsepower instead of just 1. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
If your feathers have been ruffled by downdrafts in the market, get on board something big, safe, and secure. GetNet. It pays.
Do you use a dandruff shampoo? Tests show Selsun Blue relieves dandruff flaking better than Head & Shoulders. Blue is better. And for a limited time, Blue is free. Buy 1 7-ounce bottle of any formula Selsun Blue, get 1 free. See for yourself. Blue is better.
Thrill of their lifetime and yours. The NBA on NBC.
The Steelers first down from their 5. Defensively, Mike Harden is back at strong safety, shaken up in the last series. Crowd urging the Raider defensive unit on. And as Worley stopped. The Raiders with a 6-3 lead on the Steelers. A couple of field goals from long range by Jeff Jager from 40 and from 45. Earlier, Gary Anderson on a 31-yard field goal for Pittsburgh.
It's kind of surprised on that play right there, the ball at the 5-yard line with Brister, and they have been moving the ball that well. You see a bomb being thrown, something downfield to Lips, as he's got one-on-one coverage on the outside on Lionel Washington.
Hodge and Worley are the running backs. And again to the ground, it's Hodge for a couple. Phil Piquel with a good low tackle.
There's really no place to go in that defensive line, and they're still trying to trap down by the goal line. And you'll see Hodge now. You see the cross-trapping, but what happened on that play is Reinstra runs into the center. Number 79 runs into Demonte Johnson, number 63, and he couldn't get over to make the block. And Piquel makes the play. I always wanted to call him Pickle.
Feel free to.
No, I'll call him Piquel. I saw him. He's very big.
It is a 3rd down and 8 at the 7. Brister with the time and completes for the 1st down to that man again, the tight end, Mike Mularkey. He went for 9. So Mularkey having an excellent day. That's his 5th catch.
And when you put on that linebacker, Ricky Ellison, number 50, on Mularkey, now watch, he's going to come over and try to help out. You also have Harden, 45 there, but you're looking at a linebacker trying to cover a tight end. And the reason I say it's difficult is because the tight end knows where he's going. The linebacker has to first read run and then read pass.
Pittsburgh 1st down from their 16. Hodge stopped up the line.
You want to see the confusion? Watch Reinstra, number 79, the left guard. Now, he doesn't even get out in front of the play. Watch where Hodge ends up. There's Reinstra there. Hodge goes I'm sorry, but I saw him not be there. He gets knocked out by Worley, number 38, never gets into the play. There's confusion in this offensive line.
Chuck Noll in his 22nd year as an NFL head coach. He has won only 3 of 9 league games against the Raiders. 2nd down and 10. Brister could not find anyone, then dumps over the middle. Mularkey again, this time for 8. Robinson on the stop. This is very similar to the offense Joe Walton had with the New York Jets, in which the tight end Mickey Schuler was the man who was able to come up with big numbers as a receiver, and Mularkey is doing it here today.
But again, Marv, that Mularkey is not the primary target. He's not even the secondary target. He's a tertiary target. You hear that? Yeah, I got that.
Say that again?
I've been practicing that since last night, I swear to God. But he's really not, he's the guy that ends up with a linebacker, Dave Robinson, trying to cover him, and that's where Bubby Brister's dumping the ball.
Brister has hit his last 10 pass attempts. Make it 11 in a row as he has another short-range pop for a 1st down. This time Derek Hill on the reception. Terry McDaniel with the tackle.
All right, there's Hill on the top side, Terry McDaniel. Now watch the room he gives. He's not going to give the long ball, but they only needed 3 yards. He's playing too far off. Now you want to know why this game goes so fast? Now, Hill goes out of bounds. But outside of 5 minutes in the 4th quarter, when the ball is spotted, the clock now starts. And you can see the clock moving there. That's the rule this year. That's why the games go faster, and that's why teams don't get those extra 10 or 12 plays.
1st down at the 31. Brister is now 18 for 20. Very impressive statistics, but only 3 points to show. Timeout has been called. Raiders with a 6-3 lead.
Eclipses once appeared only in the heavens, but now eclipses are appearing on Car and Driver's 10 Best list and Automobile Magazine's All-Star list. Mitsubishi. The word is getting around.
Today, a guy losing his hair can choose between being the man he wants to be.
You look great with hair. Do something to save it.
And the man he could become.
Can't you accept nature like everyone else?
Doctors have hair loss treatment programs that are proven to work, and the sooner you see a doctor, the better.
We don't want nature. We want hair.
When you've considered the arguments,
We might look great bald.
And you decide you want hair. There's only one thing to do. See your doctor. Or call this number for more information.
In some ancient cultures, an eclipse called for a sacrifice. Today, it only calls for $10,959. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
Buy 10 rolls of pig insulation, R13 or higher, to keep you warm indoors, and get a free NFL coach's sweater to keep you warm outdoors. Offer ends October 14th.
My brother Tom needed one hand for his TV remote, one for his VCR, the other for my cable. Then he got this Magnavox Universal Remote. It's so smart, it controls the TV it came with, plus just about any other brand of wireless VCR and cable. Yeah, single-handed.
If you see one movie this year, make it this one. Perhaps the most compelling drama about rape ever made. The story of a woman violated, then brought to trial by the man who attacked her. Veronica Hamill, Judd Hirsch, and Lee Grant in a world premiere movie. She Said No on NBC tonight.
Well, tonight here on NBC, a double feature, 2 world premiere movies. First, a comedy, Camp Cucamonga, featuring 7 of your favorite TV comedy stars, followed by She Said No, starring Judd Hirsch and Veronica Hamill. That'll be tonight, right here on NBC. Raiders with a 6-3 lead on the Steelers, who have a first down at the 31. Richard Bell and Noah Hodge now in the lineup. That is Bell 21 in motion. Brister can't find anyone, and down he goes. At the 25-yard line, Greg Townsend gets credit for the sack, his 3rd of the season, and the Raiders with their 4th of the day.
Marv, all Brister has to do is run with the football. If he runs with the ball, he picks up about 7 or 8 yards. When Brister breaks out, really everybody, even Townsend, look how far Townsend is away. He ends up making the play, but there's nobody in front of him. And you don't have the time as a right-handed quarterback. Here's Ellison now. He's coming out to the outside. He's trying to cover Hodge. Now, Hodge right here is going downfield, going away. Ellison is the closest guy to Brister. All Brister has to do is tuck it away. And a right-handed quarterback running left has to stop and turn, and that's how Townsend got him.
Brister on 2nd down with a bullet. Incomplete. Knocked away from Malarkey. The officials indicated incomplete pass. The hit applied by the right corner, Lionel Washington.
And also Bill Pickell was in there and drilling Brister when he's getting rid of the ball. And again, he's throwing out to Malarkey because there's no one else to throw to. Look, he's looking to his right. There's Brister. Now back to his left, and here's Pickell. Really not that big a hit. He's going out to Malarkey on the outside. Now Washington is there. The ball is thrown very hard. Never a catch. Don't review that. That's not a catch.
Well, they are calling for a review.
Well, we know it's not a lateral either.
Yes. Very good, Paul. Bobby Brister's streak has concluded. He completed 11 in a row.
Well, if they give him this completion, it's 12. All right, here it is. Now, watch Malarkey. Bang, the ball comes out. He doesn't have possession. He doesn't have any possession. And again, if he give him possession, when he hit the ground cannot cause a fumble, so it would have been his ball with a completion anyway. Now that we got that cleared up.
And the instant replay people are now satisfied that it was an incompletion. It is a 3rd down. 3rd down and 20. Goes Brister. Aaron Wallace, the rookie from Texas A&M, with his 2nd sack of the day. Raiders now have 5.
You've got Wallace making the sack, but what you're trying to do in a play-action situation is have Richard Bell, number 21, who was a halfback, trying to block a linebacker. Richard Bell weighs 200 pounds, I understand that, but watch. Here's the play action. Bell comes out, and he tries to block Wallace. He didn't even make it a good attempt at it. Hodge was also there. Neither one of them blocked him.
Tim Brown waiting for the punt from Dan Straczynski. Brown slipped at his 40-yard line. It's a 37-yard punt. White Stone on the cover up on Brown. Aaron Wallace, a man who set the Texas A&M career record of 42 sacks, a second-round draft pick. He had a big preseason, 7 sacks in the preseason. And just a moment ago on that last series came up with a second sack of the day. So the Raiders with 5. And now the Raiders back to the offense, starting from their 41 with 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Steve Smith and Greg Bell are the running backs. Greg Bell stopped by Greg Lloyd. Greg Bell acquired from the Rams last June. He had a big year for the Rams last season, running for 15 touchdowns. He came to the Rams in the deal for Eric Dickerson. And he has been spelling Marcus Allen here in the second half.
I would still, if I was Schrader, I'd go back to Fernandez because he still has Johnson off about 10 yards. And as soon as Fernandez comes off the line of scrimmage, Johnson backs up.
Second down, 10. Lots of time, and the ball rejected. Penalty flag has been thrown. So Schrader had it batted down.
That penalty flag came from the secondary, but and it's against Pittsburgh, according to Schrader.
And Jay Schrader is correct.
Well, it's dead, but I think it's against Greg Lloyd, number 95, for illegal use of the hands.
I think you read lips correctly. There's Greg Lloyd. Man was ejected from last week's game when he apparently stepped on the toe of the line judge and vehemently arguing a call.
Accidentally, of course.
I knew you'd like that one. First down at the 46. Bell started out as if it could have been a reverse, and it did not work. David Little on the stop of Greg Bell.
David Little's on the stop, but the guy that makes the play is Brian Hinkle, number 53, because he gets across the line of scrimmage and forces Bell to go wider than he wants to go. Number 53 in the defense to the left of your screen. Watch this penetration. Right here is where Hinkle is there, and look at the people that he took care of. 3 Raider offensive people and opened it up for the defense to get there.
Raiders back to the hurry up. They lost 4 on that play. It's a 2nd and 14. Schrader goes sideline, beautifully thrown to Mervyn Fernandez. A 22-yard pass play and a first down. David Johnson on the tackle. 4th catch for Fernandez.
Well, on that time, Johnson had help deep. But what Fernandez does is he splits the defense in the zone. Here it is. You see Johnson is up short. Now 37 is late. Now watch what he does. Fernandez just checks it up between the two and picks up the first down. That's great adjustment by the receiver.
Mervyn Fernandez in his 4th season in the NFL out of San Jose State after starring in the Canadian Football League. Steve Smith for 6. Steve Smith out of Penn State, a 3rd-round draft pick back in '87, a starter all of last season, opening up this year as the starting fullback. And time running down here in the 3rd. 3 quarters complete at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. We'll be back after these words from your local station.
Saturday Night Live, where the biggest stars in show business work for scale. The new season premieres Saturday with Kyle MacLachlan and Sinead O'Connor.
53 degrees with clouds and a chilly night ahead. More later on your 24-hour news source.
Another round, 5 o'clock in the evening. I'm already home and gone. An Iron Man is always working. We work hard at having fun. Man, it's rough.
car dealers are yelling closeout, people are talking about Buick quality. According to this country's premier auto research firm J.D. Power & Associates, LeSaber's the most trouble-free American car 2 years running. Buick, the highest-ranked domestic car line. Take a look at Century, a dependable, comfortable coach that will give you years of service. Let the others yell. Buick quietly builds in the quality. Get a bargain on quality now. That's the best bargain of all. Buy now at your Buick Connection and save.
There's an old saying that you should take to heart. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That's why there's Health America. Regular checkups, stress management, nutrition counseling, and more. Join Health America, because staying well is even better than getting well.
Paul, at the start of the telecast, we discussed the feeble offense on the part of both clubs. It has followed right through here this afternoon.
Here are the Steelers, 11 quarters of football in the National Football League, and have not scored an offensive touchdown. And we'll talk about Smith in a moment, only 2 carries.
2nd down and 4. Greg Bell looking for the first down, and he has it. Donald Evans, right defensive end, made the stop. Steve Smith, as you saw a moment ago, has carried the ball only twice for 10 yards. Raiders not going to the fullback.
And if you go historically with the Raiders and take a look at some of the great fullbacks that they've had with the Raiders, they've always been an integral part of their offense. And here you are looking at a fullback that's carried the ball twice in 3 quarters.
Talking about the likes of a Mark Van Egan, of Pete Banaszak. It is a first down at the 25. Bell on the pitch. Bell with running room inside the 20. Carnell Lake, the strong safety, made the stop. 9-yard advance for Greg Bell, who has run well.
Greg Bell, I mean, he just does some things in the backfield with his feet. Now watch when Bell, he's going to go outside as a toss. That's already blocked out. You can't go there. So he comes inside. Now he cuts right back outside. Carnell Lake, number 37, makes the tackle, but Bell had already picked up 9 yards.
It is a 2nd and 1. At the 16, we're just getting started. 4th quarter. Raiders 6 and the Steelers 3. Steve Smith diving, looking for the first down. Ankle tackled by the outside linebacker, Greg Lloyd. It is short of a first down. Steelers and the Raiders, representing one of the NFL's fiercest rivalries of the 1970s. The true glory of the series took place in postseason play. They split 6 playoff games. In the 70s, the Raiders and the Steelers combined to win 6 Super Bowls. Pittsburgh winning 4, Raiders 2. The yardsticks are there, and it is just short of a first down.
And I sure wouldn't want to try to make a living running the ball against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, they have not given up a touchdown rushing 4 preseason games and 3 quarters of their 3rd game here in this season. And a half a yard against this team is not a gimme.
Third down and inches. Greg Bell picks up the first down. Los Angeles Raiders come in at 2-0, beat Denver here 14-9 last Sunday. They rallied to come from behind twice in the 4th quarter to win at Seattle 17-13, and both were bruising physical games. Jay Schrader telling us that he felt that Pittsburgh's defense might be the most physical in the NFL, but he was surprised that Seattle was so physical.
Well, that rivalry, and it's in that division, too, with Seattle. You know, they don't have much of an offense, and they're really struggling.
Play action. Schrader throws for the end zone, overthrows. He saw his man, Willie Gault, was covered and threw it away.
Don't you have the feeling, though, that if the Raiders put a touchdown on the board, which would put them up 13-3, that the Pittsburgh Steelers probably will not be able to get back in this ball game because they have not been able to put their offense together. Here's Willie Galt now. He's going down, and he's going all the way across field. Woodson's there, and he just turns around and releases him to Everett. And there's double coverage downfield. There's no place to throw the ball except into the end zone and out of it.
2nd and 10 from the 13. Schrader 8 for 16, only 82 yards. And handoff to Bell. Inside the 5. Flag is thrown as Cornell Lake prevented Greg Bell from turning into the end zone.
And I believe that this was going to be against Pittsburgh for defensive holding. And I'd like to see it. I'd like to know how you call defensive holding on a running play.
Illegal hand. Number 88 defense. 5-yard penalty. Decline. First down.
Illegal hands. It must be 98 Gerald Williams because there are no other 8s on that field.
Yeah, he had an 88 as an offensive player. 88 is Chris Callaway, so apparently he meant 98.
See 98 Gerald Williams right in the middle of the screen. Now you cannot get your hands into the face mask of the offensive man. It's not illegal holding. It's just you cannot put your hands into his face mask, period.
It sets it at 1st and goal at the 1. With a 6-3 lead on the Steelers. 3 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter. It is Bell, and he is stopped. Marty Nickerson, Lorenzo Freeman combined to stuff Greg Bell.
Well, when you just see this play, it may get a ball in the end zone, but when you see this play, you know why that they don't give up rushing touchdowns. Here come the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Nickerson, number 54, just stuffs it, along with help from his friends.
2nd and goal inside the 1. Bell and Smith are the running backs. And Schrader calls for time. He had motioned Bell over to the right and then was not satisfied with the alignment and decides to talk it over. We'll be back at the Coliseum in a moment.
No matter where you look, there's Mazda. We're introducing new products like the Miata, setting new sales records, winning the respect of the automotive press, and winning awards for both quality and customer satisfaction. But most important, we're making thousands of people feel just right.
Okay, here we go. I'd move if I were you. I'm going to throw one. Well, I still have one more dart. He's also got he's got another dart. Well, then go ahead. I'd like to throw one backwards. Could you clear the room?
Anybody have stock?
Well.
Anybody take stock? Anybody stocky? Let's play hard.
Levi's 100% cotton Dockers. If they're not Dockers, they're just pants.
Oh, there we go. Count it.
What's that? Use a dangling participle. You have to.
Hey, that'll be enough of that kind of talk. Didn't you just yawn in my face?
The airline that brings you 10 countries across Asia and the Pacific now bridges the Atlantic to Europe. With flights to Frankfurt and to Paris. Come fly the airline that spans more than half the world. United. Come fly the friendly skies.
The Los Angeles Raiders have revamped the tight end position. That man there is Todd Pete, number 64. He is 6'2", 320 pounds. And they say when he's in the game, the formation is called jumbo. Boy, you could show some movies on his backside, you know it? Look at this guy. I'd run there. I'd run there.
Second and goal at the 1. And Schrader off the roll, throws. Let's see, was he in or out? He is out of bounds. Ethan Horton, out of bounds, took the hit from Hardy Nickerson.
What great coverage by Hardy Nickerson. I'm going to tell you, he is there on Ethan Horton, and he has the tight end all by himself. And you talk about some tough coverage. There is force up. Hinkle is there at number 53 to put force. But look at back here. Look at this coverage. You're talking about tight end on linebacker, and Hardy Nickerson did his job.
Now Marcus Allen returns, replacing Greg Bell. It is a 3rd and goal at the 1. Here's Allen, and he is in for the score. Marcus Allen checking in to replace Greg Bell, and he took it in.
Isn't it amazing we have not seen Marcus Allen in the second half except for that play? One other play.
Point after by Jager. And the Raiders take a 13-3 lead.
Marcus Allen's going to go over Mosbar, number 72, who is a center, and also Max Montoya, the right guard, number 65. And he just slams into the end zone. Marcus is a tough player. Watch this. Watch Marcus take this ball and just slam right up the middle. I mean, he is met by Hardy Nickerson right there, number 54 at the line of scrimmage. But he gets through. Here comes Hardy Nickerson, number 54. Now watch this. Here comes a collision there. Touchdown.
Marcus Allen has had an interesting 2 weeks. Opening day, needed 10 stitches over his right eye. Last week, he even saw action at tight end and then threw the lead block on Greg Bell's game-winning touchdown. 13 plays, 59 yards, 6.5 minutes consumed. So the Raiders with a 13-3 lead. Rod Woodson is back as Jeff Jager gets set to kick it off.
There's so much controversy about Marcus Allen out here, why he isn't playing as much as he should be playing. But every time they put him in the ball game, he makes some things happen.
Well, the Raiders trying to keep it away from Woodson. Gerald Williams, one of the up men, on the return, across the 30-yard line. Now let's go to Bob Costas and NFL Live.
All right, Marv, elsewhere in the AFC West, down 28-14 at halftime. The Seahawks are coming back. First a Norm Johnson field goal, then off the deflection. First from Derek Fenner's hands, then into the arms of Ron Heller. It winds up a 2-yard touchdown pass from Craig to Heller, and the Seahawks are back in it. Still plenty of time left in the fourth. 28-24 Broncos. Marv?
Thank you, Bob. Plenty of time left here. Just under 11 minutes to go, fourth quarter. And Pittsburgh down by 10. They start out from their 37. Worley and Hodge, the running backs. Hodge out across the 40, met by the left defensive end, Mike Wise. It'll be a second down and 6.
And you want to ask why they're running? First of all, there's over 10.5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. They're only down by 10. But the strength of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the past has been their running game, and it's not been their passing game. And again, the Pittsburgh Steelers have not scored an offensive touchdown in the first 3 games. Well, we're into the third game now, the first 2 games.
There's the second and 6. And Brister in trouble, just throws it away. He has been sacked 5 times. Big rush led by Bob Golick.
Golick, one of the elder statesmen, but you know, he just never stops. You cannot say enough about Bob Golick. Not only what he does on the field, but off the field. He's a team leader on this football team, and Golick just never, ever stops. Remember, he's the guy that got the lateral, went over and picked it up as a fumble.
Golick a steal last year in the inaugural Plan B class. 3-time Pro Bowl player with the Cleveland Browns. In his 11th NFL season out of Notre Dame. 3rd down and 6. And Brister again in difficulty. Able to get it away. It is incomplete. Intended for Richard Bell. Aaron Wallace all over Bubby Brister. Wallace already with a couple of sacks on the day. And the Steelers are forced to punt.
He's running for his life again, and here comes Wallace from the outside. Brister throws. Even if this ball would have been completed, it would have not been enough for a first down. It would have been about 2 yards short anyway.
Here is Dan Straczynski getting the low snap, and he just did get it away. Timmy Brown from his 25 out to the 30. Good coverage by the Steelers. 33-yard punt and a 4-yard return. Gerald Williams made the stop on Tim Brown. 10 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Raiders 13 and the Steelers 3.
Wouldn't it be great if suddenly you were in charge of the annual swimsuit issue, deciding things like how the models pose and who gets the cover? And wouldn't it be great if the models brought beer? Really great beer, like Keystone, the fresh, cold filtered beer in a can that tastes like beer in a bottle because of Keystone's specially lined can. And wouldn't it be great if later that day you all went bowling? Introducing Keystone and Keystone Light, bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
He stirs in the land of dawning. He stirs now in the age of wandering. Now on the trail of beauty, he stirs.
The new Navajo from Mazda. It just feels right.
What does he want?
Marcy, a priceless drop. Rare and illegal.
Where did you say you were from?
He'll kill your people by the thousands to get it. My coming beast. Must stop him.
What are you gonna do? Tell him we're fighting drug dealers from outer space?
Pull it over. My coming beast.
Dolph Lundgren. You go in pieces.
I Come in Peace. Rated R. Starts Friday, September 28th at a theater near you.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Keystone and Keystone Light. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great? By State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right.
Welcome back to the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire. 10:02 to go. 4th quarter. And the Raiders back to the offense. Marcus Allen on the slant to the right. Collecting short yardage. Aaron Jones made the stop. It's a 13-3 lead now for the Los Angeles Raiders, who are trying to extend to a record of 3-0. Pittsburgh comes in at 1-1. They lost at Cleveland opening day 13-3 last week. Beat Houston 20-9 at Three Rivers. More respectable score now with San Francisco up 12-10. Allen tries the other side and is tripped up at the 34 by Hardy Nickerson.
These Steelers, their defense against the run is awesome. Just think about it. Even though the Raiders scored down there on a running play, how long it took. Look at this. When you look at total yardage in a football game, and in the first half, you got 178 for Pittsburgh. Then we got 21 in the second half. I mean, that's scary.
Third down and 6. Now Brown in the slot to the right. Schrader going deep. With a 66-yard touchdown.
he had double coverage on the outside. He had a short man and a deep man. He had Woodruff 49 out there and Griffin number 22. Look at Woodruff. Now, he's the short guy. He's supposed to release him right here to Griffin. When Griffin doesn't get there, first of all, he doesn't get there. And second of all, when he does get there, he doesn't make the tackle. Now, don't blame Woodruff because the defense should have been turned over to Griffin. He didn't get it.
Jeff Jaeger tags on the extra point. Fernandez, 5 catches, 130 yards. And the L.A. Raiders now lead the Pittsburgh Steelers by the score of 20-3.
Haven't we met somewhere before? The Mazda Miata. It just feels right.
There's a new attitude at Northwest Airlines, a new dedication to service. You can see it in our on-time performance, the best of the top 7 U.S. airlines. That's our commitment, to make sure you're on time for your commitments.
Mr. Three-point shooter used to miss 3 points on his face till I got him to shave with a Slim Twin disposable. It has a narrow head, just like our little brother Mike. So you can shave, hard to reach places. It's got a special bar.
The Slim Twin disposable from Schick.
Buy 10 rolls of big insulation, R13 or higher, to keep you warm indoors, and get a free NFL coach's sweater to keep you warm outdoors. Offer ends October 14th.
Cos'è questa cosa qua?
It's the new Canon Fotura.
Guarda
With futuristic flash and long-range power zoom lens, the new Fotura from Canon. So advanced, it's simple.
Monday, three wheels in one.
Hormones to will, hormones to will.
Sincere.
Oh gosh, sir, there's a big question mark on that one.
Smooth.
Yo, baby.
Three faces of Will. Fresh Prince on NBC Monday.
Jaeger puts it on the ground. They continue to try and keep it away from Woodson, and they have succeeded. Larry Griffin again, one of the upmen returning it. And there is Mervin Fernandez, who a moment ago hooked up with Jay Schrader on a 66-yard touchdown pass.
All right, number 49 to the left of the screen. Take a look at that Woodruff. Now, his job is to come up and slow down Fernandez there. He does it. Not great, but he does it. But now Griffin, number 22, the safety. His job is to get over there. First of all, he doesn't get there. And second, again, when he got there, he has to make the tackle to save the touchdown. Didn't do either of the things he was supposed to do.
Fernandez not a burner, but has underrated speed. Brister with time. Again, the tight end Malarkey, and he is hit out for the first down. Eddie Anderson, the free safety, bumped him out. 13-yard pickup. Getting back to the subject of Fernandez. Could it be that opponents subconsciously compare him on tape to Willie Gault, Tim Brown, so don't realize that Fernandez has decent speed?
Just showed something there. When you get a guy in the open and people chase you, you get faster.
First down at the 45. Pass intended for Bell.
That's going to be interesting. What is the longest pass play that Brister has completed?
So Paul putting the pressure on our cracked statistician,
right.
Dennis Mnuchin.
We'll find out how good he really is.
Firing a question on the air.
That's right. I want to know how good he really is. 13 yards.
Very nice, Dennis.
Dennis, thank you, bud. 13-yard pass play. I mean, that's the longest pass play all day long. That scares me. Especially when you have Lipson Hill.
It is a second and 10 at the 45. Hodge cannot make the turn. Lionel Washington able to string him out. Lionel Washington in his 8th season out of Tulane. And once again, it is not working for the Steelers. Bubby Brister with the impressive statistics, particularly in the first half. At one point, he hit on 11 straight. Offensive coordinator Joe Walton has not been able to get this club going.
And it doesn't make any difference if Bubby Brister runs out of bounds or not, because out of bounds, as soon as the ball is spotted, the clock stops. You can see it. He can need first down, not stopping the clock.
It is dropped by Bell. Bell covered by Benson. A penalty marker has been thrown.
And I just have to believe anyway that the Pittsburgh Steelers, no matter what happens, they're in, well, this is a penalty against Pittsburgh, but I still think that they're in 4-down situation all the time now. I mean, there's just no way they can afford, well, if they refuse the penalty, it's got 3rd and long, and they're going to kick the ball away.
Number 84, penalty declined, brings up 4th down.
Call against the tight end, Malarkey.
Malarkey up on the top of the screen. Here's the tight end. He's coming down. Now, again, you have that much right. But see, I don't see where that's offensive pass interference. He's going down, but the defensive man has the right to the position.
Straczynski punting. Angles it. And it carries in. White Stone could not handle the tricky hopper, so they'll bring it out to the 20. Stone was trying to chase it down. Well, tomorrow night, you can become a millionaire. Pick up an NBC McMillions game card at your nearest McDonald's. Watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And if your number matches the numbers revealed during the show, you can become a millionaire. Watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's tomorrow for the kickoff of McMillions on NBC.
That's how you got your million?
Yeah.
From McDonald's? I like it.
All right. Napoleon McCallum now has joined Marcus Allen in the backfield. As the Raiders start from their 20, they have a 20-3 lead. It is McCallum. Only his 2nd carry of the season. He's back with the Raiders after spending last year on San Diego's military reserve list, originally drafted by the Raiders on the 4th round.
I'll tell you one thing about this Pittsburgh defensive football team. They are tough. They are together. The one thing that happens to a team, and I've been around a National Football League for 30 years, Marv, and when the defense is playing as well as this defense does play, and the offense continuously do not move the ball. You know, they kept the ball for over 9 minutes in the first quarter. The first series of downs that end up with 3 points, and that's it. It's frustrating.
2nd and 6 from the 24. McCallum, perhaps a yard. Lorenzo Freeman, 6'5", 319-pounder, able to put the stop on McCallum. We mentioned before that the Raiders will be welcoming back Bo Jackson. Should be ready for action October 21st. That'll be Game 7 against San Diego. Does his late entrance, though, complicate matters for the Raiders? Management says they say no. They claim it's similar to bringing in a player who's been acquired in a trade, and this is better because they're picking up Bo Jackson, a known quantity. But I think teammates, the running backs, can't be thrilled about it.
No, they're not, but he also knows the system, and that's the big key with Bo.
Raiders pass overthrown, intended for Brown.
Brown's complaining Woodson was holding him, and Woodson saying that Brown pushed him. And it's still an incomplete pass. But Bo Jackson, I mean, he does so many things. With frustration, I guess, a couple years ago with Marcus Allen. I mean, how much was he going to play? But you can imagine if you can get Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson in the same backfield.
Not only that, Raiders about that time will be welcoming back the injured Howie Long and the tight end Mike Dial. All right, Woodson is back, awaiting the punt from Gossett. Jeff Gossett back at his 10. 5.5 remaining in this 4th quarter. Again, the good coverage by the Raiders as Woodson was cut down by Aaron Wallace, who has had an outstanding day. A 43-yard punt, only a 4-yard return. Next Sunday, NBC the place to be for a football doubleheader. It gets underway 12:30 Eastern Time with NFL Live, Bob Costas, Will McDonough, O.J. Simpson. And then some of you will see two of the NFL's premier passers, John Elway and Jim Kelly, as the Denver Broncos square off with the Buffalo Bills. Check the local listings for the games and time in your area.
Does Pittsburgh have anybody coming back from anywhere offensively?
Trying to think of this. It is incomplete. Converted baseball players out there. Pass intended for Merrill Hodge. All right, Bob, Will, and O.J.
It's a great group, isn't it?
Getting it underway at 12:30 Eastern Time next Sunday.
You ever see the close-up of Bob? He actually dyes his eyeballs.
Are you starting in?
No, he has brown eyes, and when you see him in person, they're beautifully blue.
And Brister unloads deep. Overthrows Derek Hill. Bubby Brister at one point hit 11 straight. He is now 1 for his last 8.
Well, it's very difficult to be that accurate when you're throwing deep when it's only the first time you've thrown the ball deep in 55 minutes. I mean, in a ball game. And look at Hill. Hill just splits the defense. He is in for a score, but the ball is about 2 yards too far. Good route by Hill, good read by Brister, and the defense didn't play it very well.
It is a 3rd down and 10 from the 41. And down goes Brister. That is sack number 6. Scott Davis comes up with this one. Davis in his 3rd season out of Illinois, 6'7", 275 pounds, and a guy who has surprising quickness for that size.
Well, he was on the ground, actually, and Brister runs into him. Davis, you'll see, is laying on the ground right here, and Brister doesn't see him, so he runs into him. If he was standing up, Brister might have been able to avoid him, but he runs into the man laying on the ground, makes a sack from on his knees.
Brzezinski running to Brown. And here's Timmy Brown. So that is the best return of the day. Carnell Lake made the tackle, 37-yard punt, and a 40-yard return by Tim Brown.
Here's Brown. Now watch what he does. He gets some excellent blocking, but as soon as he sees that quick hole, he is gone. The punter, Straczynski, is there, but he has really no chance. And if it isn't for Lake, it's all over but 6 points. Here he comes again. You see how quick, as soon as Tim Brown sees that hole, now he's through it. He's beyond 10 of the defenders coming down the field. Lake actually comes back and makes the play.
So the Raiders first down at the Pittsburgh 32-yard line. Vance Mueller in the backfield for the first time today. Mueller and McCallum, the running backs. And it is Mueller carrying for only the 5th time this season. Now to Bob Costas, Paul's good friend Bob, and NFL Live.
Always a
capturing matters. Just under 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. It's a 2nd down and 6 for the Raiders. Again, it is Mueller. So Art Shell resting the regulars. Steve Smith, Marcus Allen, Greg Bell has gone to Napoleon McCallum and Vance Mueller.
When you look at those total yardage for today, remember one thing: the Pittsburgh Steelers are the only team that came into this weekend, which is the 3rd weekend, with under 200 yards total offense per game. And you cannot win football games with less than 200 yards rushing and passing. And that's total yardage in a game.
3rd down 3 at the 25. Jamie Holland checks in as a wide receiver, as does tight end Andy Parker. Picked up earlier this week following the injury by Mike Dial. Mueller room on the outside, has a first down. Run out by the free safety, Larry Griffin. Vance Mueller in his 5th season out of Occidental College here in Los Angeles, a 4th-round draft pick back in '86. And extracurricular activity, Rod Woodson was right in the midst of it. James Fitzpatrick of the Raiders also involved as the flags come flying.
Rod Woodson hits Fitzpatrick right in the mouth with his hand. Now, Fitzpatrick is 6'7", 320 pounds. Rod Woodson, here's Woodson downfield. Now, first he's throwing the receiver away. That's okay, that's Holland. Now, watch this. Here's Fitzpatrick. Now, watch what Woodson does. Away, away, away. The referee goes, watch this, bam! That's a pretty good right. Look at Fitzpatrick. Woodson, you talk about tough. That guy, Rod, he weighs 320 pounds. 6'7". Everybody's got a flag down there. There are 3 of them.
We got personal foul, defense, personal foul, offense. We've got an ejection of number 26 on the defense. Got a first down, out of bounds spot.
So Rod Woodson has been ejected. And personal fouls called on both Fitzpatrick and Woodson.
That's just frustration. I mean, this defense has been just hanging in there all day long. And it's not indicative of the score. The score is 20-3, but, you know, this defense is there. But watch Rod Woodson. The other way, official to stand there. Bam! I mean, that's a great... He not only hit him, but he got the official's hat, the referee's hat. Watch this. Again, you got to love his guts. He didn't kick him. He went and hit him. You know, this is 2 weeks in a row we've had guys ejected.
We saw Robert Banks pulling one out of his kickboxing repertoire in the Browns-Jets game. And Woodson, he could have broken his hand, but you get the idea he has that move down because he got right between the protective shielding of Fitzpatrick.
It's a great right. I mean, you did boxing yesterday, but that was a pretty good right. But you know what I like about Woodson when he's leaving the field? He's not talking to running backs and little people because you saw his head cocked up. He's looking at the bigger guys. I want to take a shot at some big guys. That'll fire up your defense.
In a chat with Mean Joe Green.
We got personal foul, 26 defense, personal foul, offense, offsetting fouls, but we've got an ejection, disqualification, 26 on defense. First down.
Now, he will eventually have to leave the field. They give him a couple of minutes to cool down, and Rod Woodson, who comes off a sensational game last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Rod Woodson last week against Houston returned to punt 52 yards for a touchdown.
You were right, though. That last picture, that first picture we had of Rod Woodson, he wasn't talking to me, Joe Green. He was talking to special teams coach. Before that, you're right, he was. Me and Joe, I think, tell him what a great job he did.
Napoleon McCallum. And he was stopped by Lloyd and Little. And just getting a glimpse of Mean Joe Green on the Pittsburgh sideline brings back memories of matches between the Raiders and the Steelers with Mean Joe going up against Art Shell and company.
But he is in charge of this defensive line, and you look at the way these young men play, it is indicative of Mean Joe Green. There's Joe Green. He talked to Rod first. Chuck Noll's going to be upset about Rod Woodson, you know, being ejected at this point in time. If this game was a little bit closer, there might have been some things, but this young man is just a tough competitor.
Timeout taken by the Pittsburgh Steelers with 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first half. Crowd of 51,063 on hand here at the Coliseum. Capacity at the LA Coliseum is better than 92,000. And as you're well aware, the Raiders with that new 20-year lease to stay here in LA, Coliseum will be renovated, a much-needed refurbishing. In the 24 hours after the announcement that the Raiders would stay here, Raiders sold over 1,000 season tickets.
You know, and Al Davis, and again, you know, he loved the Oakland area, and the people here in Los Angeles just came in and put it on the table, and that's up to them to get it done. And the Raiders, Oakland, people up in Oakland, just couldn't get it done.
When we resume, it will be a second down play for the Raiders. Next Sunday, Raiders home for the Chicago Bears, and then they play the Bills in Buffalo, back home for Seattle. While next week, Pittsburgh at Three Rivers to go against the Dolphins, who lost earlier today to the Giants. And then Pittsburgh home for San Diego, followed by road games at Denver and at San Francisco. A look at next Sunday's schedule. It gets underway here on NBC, starting with NFL Live, 12:30 Eastern Time. And the play is whistled dead. Again, Mueller, the ball carrier, and once again, words between Raiders and Steelers.
Best thing I can do is get this thing over with.
Well, the clock had run out. It's a delay of game on the Raiders. Tonight on NBC, a double feature, 2 world premiere movies. Camp Cucamonga, and then She Said No.
I was looking and thinking back to that Rod Woodson when he hits Fitzpatrick. I mean, that's the best time to hit a guy, when you got the referee between you, because the guy you hit is not going to hit the referee, because then he gets thrown out. Get a little shot and then get out of the way.
The Paul McGuire fisticuff philosophy.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, when the fight used to break out, the first thing you do is you put your helmet on. That's one. And then you get behind the head coach, because they're not going to hit him.
It is a 2nd and 13 from the 16. Mueller coming inside, breaking tackles, and gets down within the 5-yard line. A 12-yard advance. David Johnson, David Little on the stop. Again, the Raiders at the doorstep. We'll be back in a moment. Check around the 10-minute ticker. Other finals: Houston beats Indianapolis, New Orleans knocks off Phoenix, San Francisco with a 19-10 lead. Seattle and Denver now tied at 31. Philly leading the LA Rams in a wild card last season. You'll recall the Rams beat the Eagles 21-7, and there are not particularly good feelings between those two clubs. Rod Woodson hanging on the sideline. Last week, Robert Banks was told to head to the locker room. The NFL is very liberal about players being ejected.
If you're ejected, you're supposed to leave the playing field. That's the rule. The officials have not gone over to tell him to leave, but I guess, you know, there's only 2 minutes left to go. How far can he get? It's a long tunnel up there.
Well, 3rd down and 1 at the 4. Second back coming through. Vance Mueller has the first down. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Raiders and the NFL is prohibited. The game is the property of the National Football League. All rights reserved. Thanks to our producer, Glenn O'Donnell, director John McDonough, statistician Dennis Minishin doing his usual bang-up job despite the added pressure from Paul, and our spotters Ron Lux and Chuck Panama. They have called for the yardsticks, and well, they're short. I thought he picked it up. They're inches short of the first down with 1 minute and 43 remaining in this 4th quarter.
And you're looking at 4th down. I mean, this game is over with. You don't want to embarrass them either, but I don't think you're going to kick a field goal. You just go for it and just see what happens on 4th down. They're going to try to get the first down, try to get the touchdown. It'd be a little insult to injury if they went and kicked a field goal at this point.
McCallum and Mueller, the running backs. It is McCallum. David Little on the stop, and let's see where they spot it. It is a first down. So 1st and goal for the Raiders. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. The coordinating producer of NBC's football, John Peratzis. Today's game produced by Glenn Adamo, directed by John McDonough, associate director Doug Graber, production associate Jenny Huber, technical manager Steve McQueen, production managers Carl Geller, Tim DeKime, and our technical directors Mike Stramiski and Richard Sansevere. First and goal from the 2. And is Mueller, and he's hit from behind.
This defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers, here they go again.
Look out.
Let's get this thing over with. They have not stopped hustling. I mean, you're going to work for a touchdown down here. I don't care if this game is out of hand. Always little people in fights. That time was Carnell Lake, 37.
Well, this is the Pittsburgh Steelers' first trip to the West Coast in 2 years. It has not been a pleasant one.
Marvin, one of the biggest problems, and again, I talked about going into this game, that the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2 games offensively, 166.5 yards per game. The only team in the National Football League offensively under 200 yards a game. With the performance today, if the Steelers do not get the ball back, adding today's in, they'll still only average 180 yards in 3 games, and that's you just can't win doing that.
This is a second and goal from the
delay of game offense. Number 13, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
And another delay of game. A full house look being shown here by the Raiders. Jamie Holland has entered the backfield as a deep man along with McCallum and Mueller.
And here, before the real fight breaks out, Jay Schrader, take a knee and get out of here.
It has been the work of the Raider defense today that has done it. 6 sacks, 2 fumbles, 1 interception. And the Raiders are not looking to rub it in as they just sit on it for the final seconds. So Art Shell not going for the extra points. The Raiders defeat the Steelers by the score of 20-3. Pittsburgh drops to 1-2. Shell now 8-0 here in the LA Coliseum as his club goes 3-0. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire saying thanks for tuning in. So long from the Coliseum in LA. Now to NFL Live. Here's Bob.